Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
This week, in Clarksburg, West Virginia, police receive a bizarre package in the mail containing an audio tape full of a man's confessions to various murders, leading to several terrifying discoveries and enduring mysteries. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us on another wild one, and it will be, I promise you that, we have a lot for you today. It's, you want to hear crazy in a man's own crazy words? You're going to hear plenty of that today. Quickly, before we get to that, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for all the live shows. Chicago, August 12th. Can't wait to see you there.
Yeah.
Shutupandgivememurder.com. New merch up and all that kind of stuff. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you're going to get everything. The whole back catalog of bonus stuff. New stuff every other week.
Yeah.
2 new episodes. 1 crime and sports. 1 small town murder. This week is no different for crime and sports. What you're going to get is 1979. The White Sox thought it was a good idea to explode a giant pile of disco records on the field in between games of a doubleheader, and instead they got riots and fires. So that's pretty cool. We'll talk about that. And then for small town murder, one of the craziest things I've ever heard of, Sherry Papini, California woman who staged her own kidnapping, and the big question is why? It wasn't for love, wasn't for money, wasn't for any of the normal motivators. I think I know why, and it's
Great.
the creepiest reason we've ever heard of, and something that people will be very interested in. I think this wild story and her interrogations and confessions, and holy shit. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of that. And disclaimer time, this is a comedy show here.
It is.
This is a comedy show. We're comedians. We're going to make jokes. There will be murder also.
Sure.
That's the thing. There's going to be death. See, what we don't do, though, how we make this work is we go out of our way not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why, James?
Because we're assholes.
Yeah, but
But we're not scumbags, and
There
that's
you
how
have
that
it.
goes. So if that sounds good to you, man, are we going to hear a crazy story. If not, you think true crime and comedy should never go together, I don't know. Maybe it's a bad date. Who knows? But we'll see. I think you should give it a chance, and I think you'll enjoy it, hopefully. And if not, we warned you. So there you go. We're covered either way.
you've heard.
That said, I think it's time, everybody. It's time to sit back. What are we doing here? Clear those lungs. You clearing them out, Jimmy?
Get rid of all this
Let's
gunk.
do it. Let's clear it out. It's springtime. All our allergic lungs. Let's clear them out, and let's all sit back and shout, "Shut up and give me murder!" Let's do this, Jimmy. Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Okay.
All right. We are going to West Virginia again. It's that time again. Everybody ring the bells.
Do we have to?
Put the sirens on. It's West Virginia time. Every,
Here we go.
twice a year or so we're in West Virginia, and it is always special kind of a chef's kiss kind of a party time in West Virginia. We're going to Clarksburg, West Virginia here. This is in the, northern West Virginia. It's kind of like the top part of the chicken there, in between the legs and everything. So,
I don't think I know where all of it is.
it's a tilted chicken pointing toward Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Western
yeah,
Pennsylvania.
because you can go through it.
Yeah.
In New York to
not
get
New
to
York.
Pennsylvania.
No.
No?
West Virginia? No. You go through West Virginia to get from Pennsylvania to Ohio.
Ohio.
Remember, because
that's
we
it.
went,
Yeah.
we drove from Pittsburgh
Yeah.
to Cleveland, and we had to go. We were like, oh no, entering West Virginia. They're going to be looking for us. This isn't good. It's about an hour and 50 minutes to Pittsburgh. That's the closest major city here is Pittsburgh.
Is that right?
Yeah, 3 hours and 40 minutes to Hensley, West Virginia, which was our last episode, which was Horror in the Hills. And, oh, God, I remember that. All of them. All the West Virginia ones are more insane than the one before. This is in Harrison County, area code 304. We have a lot of nicknames and mottos and things for this town. Oh, yeah. Nicknames that they have. First of all, Jewel of the Hills.
Oh, okay.
Jewel of the Hills. Obviously, it's in the hills up there, and
It's
half of these
the
towns.
place you want to be. Yeah.
Half of these towns say they're the jewel of the hills. Unfortunately, that jewel is coal, so that's not the best jewel. Another one, Almost Heaven.
Oh, almost.
I think they just mean elevation wise. They're like, if I can get up on the top of the hill,
Yeah.
that's going to be closer to heaven. I think it is, right? I'm almost in a cloud. That's perfect. Almost. And then finally, Proud Past, Unlimited Future.
Oh.
Not a lot is happening here. While the future, by definition, is unlimited,
Yeah.
you can see where the limits are. I think when we go over a few things with the town, you go, oh, there's some limits here that I didn't realize. I think they got a limit or two going on here.
West Virginia, proud of the past. Is that right?
Proud past of coal mining, and we'll talk about a little bit of their past here with the history. Kind of settlers started coming 1772 and claiming land around where Clarksburg is and started building cabins. Okay. This is what I want up here. And the Virginia General Assembly authorized the town of Clarksburg in 1785. It's named for General George Rogers Clark. Oh. And he fought a lot against the British and Indians during the Indian Wars and the War of the American Revolution, of course.
Plural Roger.
Plural Roger. Rogers. And, George Washington, the first president here, he proposed that the General Assembly also authorize a road from Winchester, Virginia to Morgantown, West Virginia, or Virginia at the time, in 1786. And a branch of that road is how Clarksburg became to exist.
Right?
Yeah, because the branch went through there, and they're like, oh, now we can get out here. And now that exists because of George Washington. The Clarksburg became one of 3 cities in the late 1800s from which West Virginia voters would select the state capital. So it could have happened.
Oh,
it's not the state capital, so lost. Yeah. So when this was all going on, it's centrally located in the north part of the state, but central in the middle there. Clarksburg got some industry and manufacturing, mainly involving glass and coal.
Okay, yeah.
We got something that's making soot and then something nice that you can see through. So it's very dichotomy here. The city, the telephone service here was the first in the state, began in the mid-1880s. And so there's that. It was called, at that time, a sleepy, moss-covered town.
That sounds disgusting.
That sounds gross.
Why would you?
Yeah. I picture, of course, you're going to look like you're sleepy if you're covered in moss all walking around.
Sounds like a bunch
of
lazy monsters.
That does not sound great. So in 1929, the population had reached 35,000.
Wow.
And then the Great Depression hit.
Uh-oh.
And the Farmers Bank closed in 1929, and the Bank of West Virginia failed in 1933.
Oh, boy.
And Clarksburg began falling in population, and it's fallen further to this day, as a lot of these West Virginia towns have. Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of stuff going on here. There was a militia issue in 1996. 7 guys in some militia were arrested on charges of plotting to blow up the FBI's Criminal Justice Information Services Division complex.
Oh, fantastic.
In Clarksburg. They accumulated large quantities of explosives and blasting caps. Jesus. And they obtained blueprints of the FBI facility from a firefighter in Clarksburg.
Can you stop? Oh, my God.
They $50,000 he sold them for, the firefighter.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of cash. So that's what happens here. Then everybody ended up getting arrested. The firefighter got a year in prison. Only a year for the firefighter. Wow. So reviews of this town, let's see what we got here. 5 stars. Here we go. Clarksburg is my home sweet home. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
It's located in Harrison County. It's an everybody knows everybody kind of town. We have a shopping plaza that hosts lots of restaurants, such as, ready for this, Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Primanti Brothers, which is, I ate that at the Pittsburgh airport the other morning because it was open.
So it's a chain.
It's a chain, yeah. They told me we're out of breakfast potatoes, which are just square potatoes. They're not like hash browns. So I was like, okay. And she said, we have French fries. And I went,
good morning.
I literally said, but that's still a potato that's fried, right? And she's like, yeah, it's just a different shape. Yeah. Throw them in there then. Sounds great. I don't care.
Perfect.
I don't want my potatoes in that shape because of the time of day. Like, I'm not an idiot. I don't care.
You tell me that they're long breakfast potatoes? That's what they are? Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
Great. This is how our breakfast potatoes come. Oh, they look like long French fries. Look at that. Perfect. I'll eat them. No problem. And then they brought me regular breakfast potatoes anyway.
Oh,
I was like, where'd you find these? Which made me worried because I'm like, where'd they dig these out of? So
we found this old bag. Oh, he was okay with fries. No, serve him the old bag.
No, serve him these. I found this is an order left over from yesterday that no one dumped in the garbage. If we refry him, he won't know the difference. So Texas Roadhouse, Primanti Bros, Chick-fil-A, and McDonald's, to name a few.
Those are not restaurants, friend.
They're name dropping over here. Like, hey, listen, I got some stuff we need to talk about. Downtown, we have several small businesses, the courthouse, and the DMV. Well, wow, this place is a dream. Clarksburg
and the
DMV. Clarksburg is also home to 2 high schools, 6 elementary schools, and 2 middle schools. Wow.
That seems like a lot, right?
Seems like a mid-sized small town.
Yeah.
That's what that seems like. 5 stars. I love the family relations that Clarksburg has.
Ew,
I
don't say
that at all.
Don't say that at all. Ever.
Don't say that when we're talking about, when you're stereotype, here's the thing. I have a certain stereotype, so I try to avoid it. Try to avoid gold jewelry, gaudy things like that, making loud, ostentatious displays and things.
Very busy wallpaper in your home.
Yeah. Foil and velvet mixed in on one wallpaper. I try to avoid things of that nature, just to avoid a stereotype. If your stereotype is you fuck your cousin and marry your sister, don't say I love the family relations that Clarksburg has. Avoid that subject, and I won't say anything.
Just skip the word relations.
Relations. I love all the family that lives in Clarksburg. Perfect. It is truly wonderful place. There is no way I gave them too much credit to live. Although our crime on drugs we are battling with.
What happened to this person mid-review?
The crime is on drugs now. You know it's bad when the crime itself is on drugs. That's when it's gone over past the limit. Although our crime on drugs we are battling with.
They are murdering the weed around here.
Fuck, man. But by the grace of God, not only Clarksburg finds a way to stop drugs, but the entire world.
Okay.
So they want Clarksburg to stop drugs in the entire world, or for them to stop the entire world? Because the way it's written, that's the way they mean it. That's very confusing. I hope English isn't that person's first language. Let's put it that way. If it is, I'm disturbed. Here is 2 stars. The only thing I like about Clarksburg is that most everybody knows everyone in town. Well, that's
the one thing you like?
That's the thing you do like. That's the thing I would abhor the most.
Yeah.
No. Everything else about Clarksburg isn't actually sunshine and rainbows. The public school here are definitely less than average. Trust me, I'd know. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And there is literally nothing to do here. The drug use here in Clarksburg is also serving to be a huge issue. Almost everywhere you go, you'll sooner or later see a drug addict walking down the street out of their mind. I guarantee you every single town and city in this entire country, if you walk around enough, you'll see a drug addict. I guarantee you.
Out of their mind. Yeah.
Out of their mind.
Yeah.
That's just, life. The weather is also extremely poor, and it's almost always cloudy or raining.
There's nothing the town council can do about that.
They can't fix that, unfortunately. The last thing I do is recommend living here. I myself will hopefully be out of this dump sooner than later. There are a lot of things that could make this a good town, but it lacks every single one of them. The city may be good for adults, but for adolescents, definitely not. There is just nothing to do here, and the city has no money to make something to do. Once again, I don't recommend living here at all. Just in case you were confused about there. That is interesting. Here's 3 stars. There isn't much to do in this small town. It has definitely gone downhill fast. The drug use has skyrocketed. I don't plan on living here forever. That's why I'm in school.
I wonder what drugs they're discussing, because
pills, meth. We've seen the wild, wonderful whites of West Virginia.
Yeah, it's got to be the hard shit, right?
It's pills and meth. That's what it's the Boone County Maton call, and shaking the bottle. That's what it is. It's got to
be some dead serious drug addicts here, though.
I would say so. So they paint a bit of a bleak picture here.
They do.
A bleak landscape dotted with these, wonderful, glowing McDonald's and Chick-fil-A's and Promonti Bros. People in this town, 16,085.
It has really dropped.
Oh, yeah. These towns in West Virginia, back then there was tons of jobs in the mines and places now, and manufacturing. Now there's literally, the McDonald's and the DMV are hiring. That's it.
Right.
So not a lot here. Less married people than normal. More divorced people than normal. More widowed people than normal. Maybe that's why there's less married people. They're all getting divorced and killing each other, dropping dead. More single with children is like double the norm. So there's and the economics of it are not great either here. Race of this town, 91.1% white, 2.7% black, 2.5% Hispanic, 0.3% Asian. Religion, it's 50-50, just like normal here. They're all spread around too. There's some Baptists, some Catholics, Episcopalians, Methodists Methodists are actually the highest group. So let's see here. Last election, in this county, 30.2% of the people voted Democratic, 67.9% Republican, 1.9% Independent, and unemployment's about average here. Median household income is the low thing, $40,068.
Oh, no.
Is that. So that's pretty low. Lucky for them, cost of living is also low.
Oh, that's great.
West Virginia, the real estate market is not hot up in the hills, really. The median home cost here, $93,500. which is like less than it's like a quarter of the national average. That's
very
crazy.
affordable, but that's frightening when they're all that low.
Yeah, it's interesting. Put it that way.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about them.
It's very interesting. Well, if you can't, then let's strap it on. And we have for you the Clarksburg, West Virginia real estate report. Okay, your first house I found here. This one is I don't know how to describe it. It looks it looks like it was a bigger house, but the hillside took some of it. That's the best way. It's on a hillside.
Built in the house or into the hill?
Yeah, it's real weird. Half the house is like exposed. The other half is like in a hill. It's a 4-bedroom, 1-bath, 956 square foot house. I don't know.
Fascinating.
That's more like a bunk house. 4 bedrooms and less than 1,000 square feet.
Custom home is what that is.
It's a weird looking place here. I'll tell you that. It looks like it's all trees around. You're on a hillside. It's definitely, not a lot of neighbors to bother you anyway.
Right.
$27,900 for that.
Oh.
So, I mean, that's the type of house.
Cheaper than a pickup truck?
Cheaper than a used pickup truck. Never mind a pickup truck. Then we have a house in town here. So we'll look at kind of the in-town house. It is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,769 square feet.
Okay.
It's got like an old awning over the porch, kind of a real old-looking awning. It looks like it could be tin. It looks like possible tin. It sort of matches the color of the house, but it looks like it needs a paint job. The house could use a refresh, put it that way. Not the best. $109,900 though for it. So
fantastic.
I mean, that's pretty goddamn cheap. And there's a lot of houses here under $100,000, like a whole bunch of them. Yeah, could have chosen from a lot here. Here is a house. This isn't bad. 3-bedroom, 4-bath, T-hole for each and every B-hole out there for you. T-bowl. When I say B-hole, well, you can have a T-hole. That's fine. T-holes and B-bowls. I don't give a shit. What do I care? It's only on 0.68 acres, but it looks like it's pretty nice inside. Nice hardwood floors. Kitchen's very old looking.
That's over a half an acre. That's great.
It's not bad. 3,932 feet. It's very nice inside. There's a lot of updating that needs to be done, but you can tell it's been upkept and there's nice woods and stuff like that. It's in town. $349,900 for that.
That's amazing.
So that's nice. We have to live in Clarksburg, West Virginia, which is less nice. Good. There you go, everyone, if you're dying to move there. Things to do in this town. Oh, boy. I found a couple. Number one, the Clarksburg Rock Fest and Block Party.
Rock Fest,
baby. There's bands.
It's about music?
Oh, it's about music. We're going to rock the block, baby.
Okay.
It takes place in Clarksburg at Jackson Square, and it is Memorial Day weekend. And it's inaugural this year. It's the first one. Here we go. Here's our bands. Want to hear the bands? Okay.
I riveted. It's not locals.
I think it's a lot of them are probably locals. Fall of Babylon.
I think that's a fucking real band.
Maybe. Last Year's Model.
Okay.
Dixie Duncan.
No.
Be there for her. Stone Senate.
No.
No. Flaw.
Okay.
That's probably accurate. Tantric.
Yeah, Tantric's good.
Okay. Saving Abel.
Yeah.
Okay. Trapped.
Now we're doing it.
Yeah, these I've heard of. Trapped.
Trapped is from fucking 2008.
Yeah. That's we gotta get some people out there. And Puddle of Mud is the headliner there.
That's the headliner. Holy shit. This is gonna smell like Axe body spray.
Oh, it's gonna smell like Axe body spray and fucking probation is what it's gonna smell like. There's a lot of
piss tests, lots of them.
A lot of people with ankle monitors in this one. I feel like a lot of ankle monitor
bracelets.
people that are. I got to be home by 8. Now, 7:30. I don't give a shit if Puddle of Mud played or not. We got to fucking go. I may end up in jail.
Puddle of Mud is headlining. That's crazy.
Yeah. It says, kicking off this event with the national anthem is the extremely talented Miss Stacey Ann Swigger. So,
yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, be careful with that name.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on there, and they're doing that. And there's also, at the end, it says, let's get ready to rock in all capital letters. So,
bring your Chuck Liddell t-shirt and let's get down.
Let's say that's not your thing.
No, that's nobody's thing anymore.
It's not really my thing. That seems like I'd be like, whoa, this place is douchey. You know, a lot of white Oakleys on the back of a dude's neck type of deal.
Yeah.
That are like, when did you buy those? You bought those from a Sunglass Hut in a mall in 2006, and don't say you didn't.
You bought those when Puddle of Mud was played on the radio.
Mm-hmm. That's the memory. Unboxing your Oakleys while Puddle of Mud fucking rocked out in the bathroom or in the bathroom in the background. In the bathroom.
Or in the background.
Next up, let's say that's not your speed. How about Dan Cava Toyota presents the 44th annual West Virginia Italian Heritage Festival. Here we go. That's what you expect in rural hills of West Virginia. Now, back in the day, there was a lot of Italians in these hills because, like I said, we'd come over here and they go, well, you look greasy. We can stick you right down a mine hole. Get down there.
Lubed up.
Let's go. Look at him. He's all greased up already. Come on.
Get him in there.
I'm telling you, so that makes sense, but there's not too many of us left anymore. We've gone to places that have better pizza now. So they have events for this Friday Sunday, which is the third Sunday of each month. That doesn't sound like a festival. They have this. Okay, April 8th is the spaghetti run.
What is that?
I don't know. You run around throwing spaghetti at each other, I'm sure. Yelling Mamma Mia or some fucking...
Or you run, and then the people on the sides of the course just throw fistfuls of al dente
that would be something
pasta
for
in your
you.
face.
It's sticking to you like it's done. As it's...
Oh, it's so hot.
I can tell you it's finished because it's stuck to my face. Then there's a pasta cook-off as well.
All right.
I don't know to see who... maybe that's homemade pasta because otherwise
boils it the best.
It cooks the same. It says 10 to 11 minutes. That's what it is. There's a bocce tournament as well.
Okay, yeah.
And that's pretty much it. So,
what else do you do?
Pasta and some bocce, and they sit around and
cook off, play bocce, and the fuck out of here.
Plan a crime or two. So, speaking of that, crime rate in this town.
Yeah.
What we're interested in here, property crime is almost double the national average.
What?
In a tiny town like this, the property crime rate, almost double.
The drug problem is out of control.
It's absolutely. And then violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault here, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is also slightly above average. So it's above average. This town is hopping. It's a cauldron.
They're really getting after it.
They are. That said, let's talk about someone who certainly got after it.
Oh, boy.
Let's talk about a murder, Jimmy.
Let's do it.
Oh, boy. This is... like I said, it's one thing. A lot of times we'll do a case and we talk about it, and it's, we have the evidence, and the person denies it all the way through the trial. Mm-hmm. So you never get like their version of it. You never hear from them or anything like that. It's just, here's the evidence, and sometimes we don't get to figure out. And when I say we, I don't just mean on the podcast, just in society. We don't get to figure out exactly what happened. Uh-huh. We know the injuries that were inflicted, but we don't know what was the exact course of everything. Right. And so then sometimes someone will talk, and you're like, okay, good. Now we get a clarification, and we get a little insight too, which helps us figure out other criminals in the future. Then sometimes people will do what this guy did, which is on June 1st, 2009, a Clarksburg police lieutenant named Robert Matheny receives a package in the mail.
Yeah.
Okay. Inside are several letters and a 2-hour audio tape containing a man's voice, and
2 hours?
2 hours of him. And the wild part is you can tell the guy is completely got some problems because you'll hear it. He'll be like, okay, that's it. It's over. And then it'll start up again, a little while later, and he'll be like, one more thing. And he does this. Keep your eye out for that, because when I say click, that's when like he ended recordings, and then it'll be like, but there's another thing I got for you. Like, and it'll pop back. It's hilarious. It is.
When I was a kid, we'd go to my uncle's house and he'd get super drunk, and then we'd be leaving, and he'd follow us out the door and then lean on the passenger window that's been rolled down and continue we'd sit in the truck listening to this man for another 35 minutes.
You got to start rolling up is the problem. That's the
rolling the window up, or just put it in drive and like.
Oh yeah, you got to start rolling that window up.
Oh,
okay. I'm sorry. No matter what, he might be offended, but he'll definitely get the hint and probably won't do that again. You know what I mean?
It was every time.
Oh, we're pulling out. Sorry. Here, it's cold out. I'm going to roll this up.
Walking us out. God damn it. Stop talking.
Jesus Christ. That's
and this is
amazing.
worse because this guy's going to be giving us more and more awful details.
Yeah, everybody has that person who's like, one more thing. And you're like, for Christ's sake, you've made 12 points. Well, this guy keeps coming. He keeps coming back with more and more shit where you're like, why would you stop before he's saying that? Should have said that to begin with. So they get this. This is the recording. Mm-hmm. And here goes. Now, a couple of things to tell you about. Some of has a couple redacted things. Yeah. Has redacted names in it that of people that he is blaming and calling co-conspirators that are fully investigated and had nothing to do with it. And he's just like throwing some fucking shade on people to try to take him down with him, I guess, is the deal here. It's an odd, meandering, weird, so we'll try to make sense of it and try to go, and I'm going to read it just like he writes it. I'm not going to give any, any whatever. I'm not going to add in anything or take anything out. Okay. So in this, he says, quote, okay, I'm going to write a note about what happened, and then I'm also going to record this, so make sure the police get what they need. All right. Like I said, he hasn't said anything yet, by the way. This is his first.
Said nothing, sir.
In the letters, he said. So, my name is James E. Childers, or Childers, C-H-I, Child E-R-S. Right. So, there you go. Childers. Yeah, Childers. So, James E. Childers, he says, and his dog's barking in the background.
Love that.
He says, I burned all these houses down on Northcott Street. My brother John Childers helped me. And there's more dog barking.
Oh, boy.
Now, he really buries the lead here because that is the least of what he's done. So, like, he's talking about, like, unoccupied structures. This is nothing compared to...
Oh, there's nobody even in them.
No. He's completely burying the lead here. That's like Ted Bundy going, I got to tell you guys, I stole a car one time.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I lied to some people.
Let's start at the beginning. Yeah. My arm was never really broken.
Right.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So he says that. Now, James E. Childers, who is he? He's born in February 8th, 1964. He grew up on a 96-acre farm.
Oh.
Okay, that his family owned. After leaving school, he moved to Clarksburg, where he had a lot of jobs that were just kind of blue collar, some construction industry jobs, handyman, things like that, wherever he can make money and, unskilled, sort of skilled labor.
Sure.
Type of deal. So in the late 1990s here, he began to show some signs of depression and started doing a lot of drugs and alcohol. That was his coping.
Yep.
That's how he coped. And he underwent treatment for that as well at the time. And he's considered, though, he never really does anything. He never really gets arrested. He's not starting bar fights or getting, crashing into telephone poles and, hitting Girl Scouts with his cutlass. Nothing like that. Right. He's fine. He's known as a law-abiding citizen. Got friends and acquaintances that describe him as a very friendly person who'll help neighbors with chores. And people see him strolling around town all the time, and he's fine. Nobody's scared of him or any shit like that. So he's known as a friendly guy, likes to walk around day and night. He talks with plenty of people, always talks to the cops. How you doing, officer? Blah, blah, blah. He knows them all. They all know him. It's a small town, so they all know each other. One of his friends said he never gave anybody here a problem that we know of. So, that's a way to also be like, I don't know everything.
Right.
We know of. So he's talking about with the fires, and we'll talk a little bit more about them, setting fire to both his home, which he set fire to, and 3 other buildings on his street. Okay. So the officers talking about it, they don't know. When they get all this information, these letters and these tapes, at the end they say, we'll have to re-review this material. It's lengthy. Maybe we can answer more questions accurately at a future date. They're trying to blow everything off.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's some neighbors' opinions on him. Here's his neighbor, Ed, who lives next door.
Yeah.
Ed described him as a, quote, very friendly chap, which I didn't know they used chap as a regular verbiage in West Virginia. That's strange. He's the one Englishman living up in the hills here. A very friendly chap, very nice, helpful, and articulate. Again, not normally words thrown around in these parts of the woods here. That guy right there, he's real articulate. Not that nobody is, but I don't think anyone's calling each other that. He's also known as kind of a screwball, the guy said. And Ed also said that he was, quote, slippery.
Okay, those are all very vague, but right on the nose at the same time.
Friendly, very nice, helpful, articulate, slippery screwball.
Yeah.
Those are a lot of adjectives that you just kind of. That's just a Scrabble board full of adjectives there. You're like, oh, what did I get? A Q, an S,
he's everything.
An A. That's weird. They said that James would always claim to have no money. This is what the neighbors said. He'd always claim to have no money, but he'd always claim to have a lot of money, but he seldom would be working. So they thought he was just a kind of a braggart type of guy.
Yeah.
Other neighbors said he would frequently disappear for several days at a time. Just gone. Okay. When he was home, he'd walk up and down the street talking to people. He would paint people's porches, do jobs like that, wash down the sides of houses, and do other odd jobs.
Okay. Fascinating man.
He's a very fascinating man. His other neighbor here, Thomas Roach, said he's a nice guy. I never knew he was anything like I'm hearing now. I guess some people might have 2 sides to them. I don't know hardly what to think about it. That's more West Virginia there.
Yeah.
He started to act a little bit weird in the summer of 2009 here before he sent this letter to the police. He offered to sell his house to his neighbor, Ed, his next door neighbor, for $5,000.
Oh, that's a deal. Take it.
I'll give you. I don't know if you've seen his house. I don't think it's.
The land alone's worth more than that, right?
Possibly. Not in the hills of West Virginia. It might not be. Yeah, it depends on what's going on. And then the next day he came over and said, "How about $3,000?"
Oh, now it's dropping.
Jesus, this price is. I'll wait till tomorrow. It's going to be $1,000.
On sale today.
This is great. Yeah. He told the neighbor, quote, "I'm fed up with this neighborhood and I want out."
Selling dirt cheap.
Fed up and I'm done here.
Yeah.
Okay. So he ends up burning it down, much of it. Now, criminal background. This guy sending weird letters, setting fires. Yeah. Seems like he'd probably having money without jobs. He'd probably have a criminal background. He has apparently, he'll say he got in some trouble, but they can't find any criminal record on him.
Oh.
No criminal record, and he was about to be charged with a crime, though, when this happened. A totally unrelated thing of making harassing phone calls to neighbors.
Oh, he's doing that.
Yeah, one neighbor, he called one person 50 times in a 24-hour period. 50.
Twice an hour.
Twice an hour for a whole fucking day, which is really fucking interesting. So that he was about to be charged for that. So a little obsessive, you could say, that is.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with the murder. He didn't do anything to that person, or
he just called him a lot.
He just called him a lot and was harassing him. So before we get back to the recording, I'll give you a little clip, a little snippet of something from later on that really describes him well. Quote, "You can analyze and think all you want and get some of the greatest minds in the world, which I know you're not, because I'm just a small-town killer, but don't judge me because you don't know my life."
Killer.
He's a small-town killer is all he is.
He's a killer.
He said, you can get the greatest minds, which you're obviously not, because I'm not worth that much as just a small-town killer guy. Like, I'm not Ted Bundy. You're not going to bring in John Douglas to talk to me. He said, but don't judge me because you don't know my life.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. You think you're better than me?
Don't go passing assumptions on me.
Let's try to all get along. If we tried to get along, I think the Northeast and the South could get along better if we all realize that we all have you think you're better. It's either you think you're better than me or you think you're fucking better than me. We all have it. It's
one way or another. It's there. Yeah.
You think you're better than me, huh?
Yeah.
That's what it is. So back to the recording. He talking about his brother who helped him with the fire. He said he was like my lookout there. And Tom Rhodes also helped me watch the front of the house, make sure nobody was there. But I'm pissed off.
Oh.
Pissed off. And more barking.
Still pissed off.
Still pissed off at Tom Rhodes because he hollered too soon and didn't give me enough time to get away, and I almost got caught by the fucking police.
Okay.
How dare he almost get you caught for arson, you stupid asshole.
And Tom was involved?
Well, he said he was lookout. He hollered too soon. Yeah. Because a police officer stopped me up there on Chestnut Street that I had talked to from a previous fire, and he had his side light shining on me, and I said, well, I'm in a rush. I got to get home. So he didn't think nothing of it, and I got away with it, and I had matches in my pocket. In his pocket. Yeah, all right. So I went home, and then the fire, they fight it. It's out. And but the impotency of the Clarksburg Police Department with that arson investigation was almost appalling, to say the least.
The impotency.
That is amazing that this fucking moron hillbilly is calling you impotent and appalling with your arson investigations.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Appalling, to say the least.
Did he mean incompetent, or did he really mean impotent?
He said impotent. The impotency.
Okay.
I mean
it
might have been an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're too limp dick to figure out the fire. Is that what he's saying?
Fucking flimsy dicks, you bastards.
Y'all had a tingle in your balls. You'd figure this motherfucker out, but you don't. So guess what? I'm walking free. Matches in my pocket.
Dre standing there with a can full of gas.
Gas and a handful of matches. And police were too impotent, so no one found out. It was appalling. I don't think Eminem used that in that one. So he said Wilk. Who is Wilk now? He was talking about
it's a friend of his,
his brother, and then there's Tom Rhodes, and now he says Wilk only had one pussy at home waiting on him.
What?
He wanted to get back home to it. So anyway, I think that means the cop.
Oh.
Maybe that's the cop. He said, so anyway, if that'll be the, and I'm using his exact words, the cats in the police department, I would have, I don't know. They've got, the way they handled that operation. But anyway, another thing is this, my brother John, like I said, he helped me watch out for me. And so did Tom Rhodes, and we wanted to beat the assholes out. Okay? We thought we did it all three together. They did good. My brother, he didn't know anything about it. A different brother, not the one he's talking about. Jeff, he knew about it. He didn't have anything to do with it, though, but he knew we were burning the houses down. And he even got his assholes anyway. Got his assholes? What does that mean? He said Gruden is on Denowith, his house burned down, and he'd act straight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's saying his brother would cover for him, the other brother. Wasn't involved, but he'd cover for him. He then says, okay, and it says big sigh. So he's...
Here we go.
Okay, so, and we get to that. We finally get that done. And Jack Cecil comes to me one day, and he says, why they throwing that son of a bitch out? But if he didn't like him because of the simple fact that he was really bent on a house of his own on a pile of logs and it's 315 Northcutt, the weeds bid high on what the fucking place was worth, and then nobody else would bid any higher, and he got the place. So he defaulted on the loan and then ended up getting more owners. So Joe R. Piles, which doesn't sound like a real person.
No, it doesn't.
Joe R. Piles would come to me and then sell me the house for $1,000. Okay, so that's how it happened. So apparently he was able to buy this house for $1,000 because somebody, I don't know, somebody went into default and had to get rid of it. I don't know what was going on.
Bunch of owners,
I guess. He said, okay, so that's how that happened. And then on to my brother. Of course, I got Marilyn at home. Marilyn, like a woman's name.
Person, yeah. Because
then after me and Jeff was talking, he said, you know what? Your house is worth more now since it burned down than your brother's house since both houses involved. I said, yeah. So I was thinking, he said they hadn't caught that arsonist yet, had they? And I said, no, not that I know of. He says, Mike Harmon, he found some, then they can't tell, it's garbled. Yeah. Then he says, I'm a Northview resident. There's an arson loose, and they're burning houses they have to pay. I don't know what. His dad said they have to. I don't know. He said there's an arson to burn around the same neighborhoods that the insurance company would have to pay out and put pressure on the police department to find out who's doing this so the insurance companies can start having to pay out all that money. Okay. So that's confusing. So let's figure out what he's talking about. He's a little more clear later on. He says he's confessing to 4 arsons on the block where he lived. Mm-hmm. And they said, at this point, we as the Clarksburg Police Department feel there's credibility to this information.
They knew already that there's an arsonist because 4 houses on the same block don't just catch fire.
They don't just catch fire, and around the same time.
Right.
That'd be real weird. So they said, neighbors said the arsons involved Childer's home, 2 other houses, and a small apartment building all on his street.
Oh.
So that's a lot of people's homes.
Yeah.
Childer's home burned the week before, and the other fires occurred within the last year, kind of staggered out. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So culminating with his house burning. Yeah. So that's real. He definitely burned these people out of their homes. Right. So that's not great. And then that's not good. And it gets worse from there.
And that's generally, I mean, in historically, if you talk to people that investigate serial killers and murderers and shit, they start with hurting animals or setting fires, shit like that. This is very common.
Oh, it's a lot of, well, also a lot of times they just have like a fire thing, like David Berkowitz liked to set fires, and a lot of the guys like fires. He then goes on to say, then they get near the police department, say they have all double standards too. I mean, if they can, they could hook somebody up and solve this crime. They'll do it. I mean, all they have to do is spread the wealth of the police because there are double standards. And I mean, if somebody's coming to my house and they're bothering me, then the police officer will come and risk his life to save mine. I know that, and I appreciate that very much so. Okay. But there's one thing I don't like. It's the double standards. He's talking about, look, I get the cops will save you and come to my house. If someone's trying to attack me, they'll come over and save me. He goes, that's all fine and dandy, but there's also double standards here.
Tell me more about the double standards, sir.
Okay, like it's the bit of harassment charge I have against me. They could have swept that under the rug if they had wanted to.
But they won't because why?
I committed a crime.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, they could just ignore it and then that would be fine. So I don't understand why they don't. That's a double standard. Okay? I don't think he knows what double standard means. He said, but they didn't want to. So by them doing that has exacerbated my plans. My plan wasn't until September, but now it's going to be earlier. And I'm going to kill a few more people before I go. And if I can find out where Joan Post lives, I'm going to kill her too.
Okay, now it's very specific. We can watch that person, right?
Yeah, we could. All right, so now it's a few more people. That's terrifying. We don't know who. But Joan Post, lock your doors.
She's one of them.
Roll them up, lock them down, Joan. You're in trouble.
I don't know who's in trouble, but I do know Joan Post is.
She is. Well, also, not just Joan, as we'll find out. And my plan is to go down there to Locust Avenue, down where one of her neighbors is, and get in there and threaten her and find out where she lives and kill her ass, then go over and kill Joan and her mother.
Do we know who this person is?
He's going to kill someone else.
Yeah.
No, he's got another plan, I guess, and then he's going to threaten to find out where this person lives so he can kill her, then go over and kill both Joan and her mother. So,
and he sent this information to the police.
Yes, he's telling them that's what's good. And then he says, quote, "That's my plan, and I sure hope it works out. I sure do hope it works out."
Please don't try and stop me.
This is the recording he sends to the police.
Fascinating.
Hey, y'all, just going to give you my plans for the night. Shit, I was going to go over to the McDonald's. I was going to pick me up one of them Big Mac meals. That looked pretty good tonight. Maybe some nuggets, too. I'm feeling kind of hungry. Then I'm going to go kill Joan and her mother and some neighbors and a few other people. If y'all want to join me and hang out and make a big party, we can. But
y'all want to watch?
Y'all want to watch or just, maybe like videotape it or something, it'd be
Do
fun.
not exacerbate the situation.
I can't believe he used the word exacerbate. He said, and another thing I forgot to say about that Jack Cecil, he hates that Jane Marie, he wants my house because he put out $20,000 life insurance policy. Listen to me. You're on a tape. I think they're interested by now.
We're riveted, friend.
All hands on deck. There's a dude transcribing. Everybody's listening.
They have it on the loudspeaker.
They have everyone gathered around. House insurance on this house, and he knows that he thinks, before I would have killed myself in September. Oh. That's what he's explaining. My plan was to do all this shit and kill myself in September. Now I got to speed it up, and you're really pissing me off here. He said, preferably August, because that's down there by September.
It sure is. It's right next to it.
I've never, ever heard of months as down there by that one, ever. Have you?
I've never been given directions to months before. No.
Ever. You go ahead and you make a right at July, and then right down there by September's August. You're going to run into that one now, and then you just tell them that I sent you. What the fuck are you talking about?
You go on down past July, you get to September, you've gone too far.
You get to September, y'all, you went past it now. You're going to have to turn around. Can't really make a U-turn around there, but
you're going to have to go back around the block to get back to it.
God, because that's down there by September.
Down the one way.
Down the one way. This is why I like that we have the transcription of the recording, because when people are babbling, they say funny shit like, because that's down there by September.
And it's just them in the room, so they don't know how fucking ridiculous that sounds.
Well, at some point, there's another person here that's unidentified that we don't know who it is, but there's someone else.
And that person didn't stop him and go, rewind and record over that. You sound dumb as shit.
There you go. First of all, what are you doing? What's the overview of this? Okay.
You're going to send this to who?
First of all, don't do any of that. But if you're going to do that, at least don't sound so fucking stupid and say that August is down there by September.
How do you say the word exacerbate and a few sentences later say
September? He called the police department impotent and appalling. And then he's like, August done down there by September. Hold on, I got to go poop in my bucket. Like that how'd you turn from that to that? He said, and he had him, he said, Jimmie, we all know Jimmie.
Let me be.
He says that, let us both be. He says that they haven't found that arsonist yet. I said, yeah, what about it? What about it? That's how he said it. Because at least if you burn this house down, they'll pay me more money. And I found out who's been burning these places down. And he says, I'll tell you what, I'll buy your house for $5,000. He says, I'll give you $2,000 if you burn it down. So that's a total of $7,000 for a house and a burn down. Is what somebody
I'll
offered.
buy it off you and pay you to burn it.
That's what he's saying. If he says, and then you'll get as soon as it's burned down, and I can handle the insurance money later, and that can be yours or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he knows I do shady dealings. You know what I mean? I wish I did.
Yeah.
Now he knows a few things I've done, overheard a few conversations I've had with some people. So he kind of knew that I was that kind of person. He knew that I was slippery, as we'll call it. I think slippery is the best word.
What was the other word? Scuzzball? What was it? Scumbag?
No, I don't think it was. No. We're going with slippery here.
Yeah, slippery is good.
He said, but do I wring my neck along with this? Because that would be what would happen. Okay. But Jack Cecil is a dirty rat.
Oh.
He's a dirty rat. Dirty rat. Well, he said, he's a screwball and a dirty rat and a slippery screwball. There it is. He said, let me tell you that. Not too many people like him. He's a slumlord. He'll make money any way he can, and he has no morals. Ask me to burn this fucking house down, and then and he's going to collect probably, and I don't know how much plus taxes is out. Okay. He said he got it for $20,000, and he give me $5,000, $2,000 to burn it down, $13,000 he'll have left, and I don't know what he has to pay out of that, but I'm sure he'll have about $10,000 left, free money. He has a lot to boot. He wants it. He's got the lot. Yeah. Okay. He says he wants it. He doesn't want it. He just lets the city take it over. Then he ain't been out a bit. But I'll tell you what, I got to clean. I'm going to burn this son of a bitch down so there ain't going to be nothing left. And he did. So he won't have a whole lot of cleaning to up left. But he ain't wanted to park in his place, you know? Okay. But anyway, that's the deal. So everything I told you is true, and you can all believe me or you cannot believe me. I really don't give a fuck. But all I know is at least I tried to put these criminals. And then there's some noises in the background. He stops for a second and he said, their justice, just as I already have my justice, so whatever happens will happen. Click.
Okay.
So that's his original message that he starts with before he starts going back to add on. Notice he didn't talk about any murders in there.
Called himself a killer, but
fires,
that's it.
Stuff like that. Okay.
That was the main message I wanted to get across. But now that I've thought about it,
fires, dirty rat, that guy's an asshole. My one brother's cool, but the other one's a dick. Okay, so
fire up that Casio. I got.
It starts back up again, and this is real quick. He says, "Quote: So we hid the body."
Oh my God!
Huh? Where the fuck did that come from? Pardon?
Yeah.
James, back it up a little bit. What now? I feel like we missed something in that click. I feel like there was.
What was edited?
So we hid the body for about 4 hours, and then he came back about 9 o'clock, and he had a piece of plastic in the back of his truck, and we had her in the garbage bag tied up with a white rope with her hands, her feet, and a rope tied around her, the top of the bag. So me, my brother John, and then we find as we was traveling down the road, sorry. Nobody was in front of us and nobody was in back of us all the way out through the United Hills and Methodist Church. And so we got up there to where the parked car right past the church, with the church being up on the right. I think the church is on the right. He's said that a lot. Up there, right there, past the church, we're on the right. And we turned around, made sure there was nothing coming. He has a pretty good stretch and he can play his bass. What? So when we see nothing we got out of the car and we threw that over the hill. Just barely, though. Over the hill, then just enough to where you couldn't see it. It's a wonder they haven't found the body yet.
Just in a bag all tied up?
Yeah, just tied him up, and there's a little hill in the parking lot. Just kind of pushed it over so you can't see it. Just like over this little berm.
Jesus.
Jeff was happy. He got the body out of the car, then the plastic we took and threw away at the that car wash there in Nutter Fort. Nutter Fort? Wow. And, he said if I ever done to him, I'd say you would never, ever let him know, ever, never. So the only thing, my brother, and but I was thinking about it, we all deserve justice in this.
So you know, to go to jail for this?
We all deserve justice.
Okay.
Me for killing that girl.
Yeah.
Me for starting the fires. Jean for helping me clean up the scene, and Jeff for helping me clean up the McGuffey scene, and Tom Murph for being a lookout. We did it all together because we wanted them assholes out of here, and now we're all laughing about it, thinking everything's good now.
Okay.
Whoa.
Click.
Okay. No, not yet.
No?
He goes on. No, he's got more breath. Just one of those.
Yeah.
Big gasp for breath.
This is horrifying.
He said, and that's their problem. That's what I was telling Larry. I said, is that he did, and he's going to go to jail, and I was going to plain out shoot his ass. And I had them guns anyway. Arson's what, 3 to 15 or whatever?
So he knows the law.
He knows something about it. He could burn these fucking houses down. They put your ass in prison. But the only thing you got to do was the impotency in, he loves that word.
He does.
The impotency in just the way the fire and most of the way that the police detectives did the investigation. He actually did a he.
Yeah,
he said, that's the one thing about the FBI. They're just a little bit more training. I'll talk to some person here, and I'll tell you what I did. When that, I'll tell you many times, I've done it 3 times. I'll burn them with the old gasoline. I took the top off, and of course, I hate to rub on them. I wasn't stupid, and I walked upstairs. I just put that gas down on the floor and tipped it over and started that fire in the back block. And then they deemed that second fire where John and Peckerhead there, Pat was watching. Peckerhead there. He's looking for the name, and he got Peckerhead there. What's his name? Pat. I don't know what happened, but I got to get, hey, Granny, can I stay here for dinner while you and that? Was he with his grandmother now?
With his grandmother, and he's shouting at her, and she's got a friend.
Yeah, he said, a little bit of gas. I got to get gas. So I took the lid off and closed the, I didn't have gloves on, and that poured, and that cat in the back window. I think he means a person. Okay. The cat, yeah. The fire he's talking about now. And the pressure's on. I raised the window because it apparently needs air. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for fire. That's how fire works. It's generally how fire is done. He said, and I opened up the back window and the front windows was open. So they had gone through there and just devastate the house in no time. But so when I did that, I knew it was a hell of a whoosh. So like I told Tom, wait for a little bit, but the fucking pig head, he acted too damn soon and said, get out of here, and he didn't see no fucking bunny.
He is an interesting fella, that is for sure.
I am perplexed. He hasn't gotten to the crazy parts yet. This is like getting to know you.
Yeah.
This is
did
just
you get to hear it, or did you just read?
No, had to read it.
Oh, I want to hear it so
Oh,
bad.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
He said he knew that. We all knew that, too. He can't jump over that fucking fence. I mean, I might, between the fence and the block building. Then I went through my brother's yard, which he was watching, and I jumped over that way, run down through between Mary Lehman's house and Jim Coral's house, and went up by Sycamore Street and up the alley, and then went onto Mulberry and up Chestnut, and that's when the law stopped me. But he thought he should have waited on something here. When the law did stop me, I was telling them what was going on, yet I had my hands in his door, and he was looking at me, see if I was shaking. But anyway, I don't know all the tricks. I know a few of them, and I was just as calm as can be because I knew what he was looking for. I don't shake it. No, like he just stopped me.
So he's talking to a cop after all this happened.
That's the cop that he said he had matches in his pocket, but he's saying that he was leaning in the cop's window, talking to him, and making sure he didn't shake or look nervous because that's what the guy would be looking for.
He doesn't even smell like gas?
I guess.
Amazing.
Or this cop is not he's not top-tier law enforcement. He could be impotent, we'll say.
Yeah. Or there could be allergy season.
You know what? He's a little stuffy. It is June, so... Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah. They're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, it's great. Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options. Nice. It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
He said, but little did he know that I had a pistol too. If he was going to do anything, it was going to be coming out real quick. Oh.
Okay. He's willing to shoot cops?
He's willing to shoot a cop over this. That, maybe he saved his life, too, by and not pressing it, because there's no way my pistol was ready, and there's no way he could have pulled his and done anything to me. I'd have shot him 4 or 5 times. But then he says, I guess that's it. I mean, there's more crimes, and I ain't going to tell you all about them, but I will tell you 4 that I did.
Okay, 4 bad ones.
Yeah, and this is where it starts. Quote, I've been killing these women for quite a while now.
Okay, you only have to tell me about one of those that I can guarantee you did, and I don't have to worry about anything else you done.
Talk about burying the lead here.
Yeah.
He talked about his brother and how this guy's an asshole, and he's talking about insurance fraud that people are pulling off. I got to tell you all this. It's real important. Then he's like, oh, by the way, I fucking been killing these women for years. Have a good one. Bye.
Me and my brother disappeared a body. Also, I've been killing these women for years.
For years. Wow. He said, if you look on my record, I don't have a very good record, but I have a domestic against a woman. See, he's saying he got arrested for a domestic, but after all this came out, they're saying he had no police record. So I'm not sure. That everything's Carolyn Sourween. She didn't ruin me. She ruined me. Okay. Okay, you just she didn't ruin me. She ruined me.
He's like Two-Face in Batman.
Yeah,
it says one thing out of one
she
side.
Ruined me. She ruined me. Yeah, she ruined me. He says again. I'll put it like this: she ruined me, and I'm going to kill her, and that's just a matter of time. I'm going to kill that bitch.
Yeah.
When she's dead, it'll be me. He done it.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to know why?
More than ever.
She ruined my life. Oh, he goes on.
Yeah.
Quote, the devil is in her life.
Oh,
well, that's obviously now it's you got to, what else are you going to do? Of course you got to kill her now. The devil is in her life, and she ruined my life, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let her live after what she done to me.
Elaborate, you son of a bitch.
But anyway, that's about all I can think of right now. He's got more murders he hasn't talked about. If there's any more, I'll let you know. But I don't want all my brothers to escape justice, especially when I think they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by the way, this is not a click. He keeps talking. He keeps saying, well, all right, I'm going to go now, and then keeps talking like your uncle.
He is Uncle Rick.
But it's at this point in the letter where the FBI, or the recording that the police go, we should definitely call the FBI, right?
Yeah.
Because this is probably a lot more than we can handle.
He's confessing to so many crimes.
Maybe they can understand him, first of all, and then outside of that. So the FBI, based on the entirety of the letters and recordings, label him a possible serial killer based on characteristics they gleaned from a review of his notes and recordings. They said that he killed more than 2 people, both male and female, at different times and places with different motives. He also committed other crimes, such as a series of arsons, and he's taunting and challenging the police now. So this is all kind of part of it. We'll get back to the FBI in a minute because they do a whole profile and whole thing here. So back to the letter. He's talking about his brothers deserve to go down with him. Right. Then he says, quote, well, I don't think, I know they deserve it, and I deserve it more than they do. A lot more.
Okay.
Wow, he goes from she's a bitch, she ruined my life, fuck her, to I deserve to be punished more than anybody else. Like, either you ruined my life the most, or I'm the most guilty and the most in need of punishment.
Yeah.
He's got an ego on him, this guy. Wow. He said, but like I said, my brother Jan, nothing, don't want to get him involved for one reason. I have 10. Well, 10 reasons, but this is one of them. You got a big fucking mouth. Okay? John, you can't go. You can't pry a word out of his sideways. Jeff, same way. I know I trust them guys. That fucking fire marshal, whoever the fuck he was, he kept telling me, no, we've got somebody bragging about this fire. No, there'll be no bragging about this fire, just a confession to let you know what's going on. And the only reason I'm telling you this is because I don't want my brothers to escape justice.
Okay.
Wow.
Something happened in his life, right, to say all this? Did he do this before or after everything?
This is all, well, kind of in between.
Okay.
And then we don't know when he starts recording and stops recording, too. Because they could be different days. We have no idea. There's no way to tell because it's just
diary.
It's a standard like audio tape. There's no digital footprint on it or anything. He says that like I said, the steamer that we used to clean the crime scene at my brother John's house. It's like I said, a Regina carpet cleaner, a Regina steamer carpet cleaner. Remember those commercials in the early 90s and 80s? They'd be on all the time.
Only?
I don't think so. It was like
they
one of those
all over?
It was a mail order thing. You call up, I want one of those. Regina steamer carpet. It's one of those steam carpet cleaner bullshit.
But it
doesn't work.
Got him. Yeah.
And they show dirty water coming all up and bubbling, and people are like, oh my God, that's in my carpet.
Like the Kirby.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a Regina carpet cleaner, and that's about it, really. I mean, you should have seen my bathroom shutters when it happened. And like I said, that Regina carpet cleaner was Sherry Lynn Baker DNA is in it. It's all over at my brother's house, and I'm sure there's plenty of DNA in it. No, I love them all, but I don't like them. It's weird. I just don't like them.
It's weird.
Meaning his brother.
Yeah.
Most of what he says could start out with, it's weird, but...
But I did this.
But I did this. Now, Sherry Lynn Baker is actually Carrie Lynn Baker is her name, not Sherry Lynn Baker. He got her name wrong. A woman that he killed. He got her name wrong.
Boy.
She's 26 years old when she disappeared in 2008, so about a year before this.
This is recent.
This is recent. She disappeared about a year and change before this here. And he'll go on later to say where to find her, and her skeletal remains will be found along State Route 57 in Barber County.
Okay.
So he goes on to talk here. Quote, I love, but I don't like him. Talking about his brother. Yeah. I love my brother John, but I don't like him. I love, but I don't like him. Okay.
We got it.
But I could have lied and implied Jan did something, or maybe Jan, I'm sure it is, did something. But I was in, because he is nothing but a fucking liar. But I'm not going to cause him havoc for something he had nothing to do with. I wouldn't do that to him. So he's like, I could implicate my brother just because he's a fucking liar, but he didn't actually do it, so I shouldn't implicate him, is what he said. He said, you don't have nothing to do with something. You shouldn't be accused of it. That wouldn't be right. Because he trails off, that's the only reason. But I do not like my brother Jan either, and he knows it. And I mean, I love him, but I don't like him. We never did get along. But I'm not going to try to get him in trouble for something he had nothing to do with. I just wouldn't do that to him. And then, I just didn't want to do that. So, anyway, big sigh.
He's exhausted.
He got all that out of his system, like a little kid who just told you about, his trip to the zoo. Right. And the stingray game, I got to pet the stingray and the thing, and there's a little monkey, and you could throw at things, and he ate it. And then I got Dippin' Dots, and it was good. He says, quote, that's about the size of it.
Okay.
And, I just have one more thing to say. I don't want to get caught by police. Well, no shit. Who does?
But you gave so much detail.
Why are you giving this detail? I don't want to sit around in the interrogation room and you fucking guys talk your shit to me and you nah. You know.
Yeah.
So
I've seen those tapes.
Yeah. You can't judge me. You might think I'm a bad person and you might be right. I bet we would be. I'm going to go out on a limb here.
That we'd nail it.
I think we'd probably go, I knew he was a bad person. I had it. But you can't judge how I became the way I am because you would be making an uninformed judgment because you don't have a clue, and that's the truth.
Okay.
Well, clue us in. He said, so you can analyze and think all you want and get some of the greatest minds in the world, which I know you're not because I'm just a small-town killer, but don't judge me because you don't know my life. That's where that quote comes from. Yeah. Okay. He says, maybe judge yourselves.
Oh, look in the mirror, you son of a bitch.
Flip it back on society and hold that mirror up to it and say, look at what you created.
Yeah.
Maybe judge yourselves because I can judge myself and know the truth. And you can judge yourself and know the truth too. So, all right, well, I've got to help you, police, people, solve all these problems. And those are his us. I should have became a cop. No.
No, that would have been real dangerous.
I should have became a cop because I'm smart enough to be one. That's what he said, literally. I'm smart enough to be one. But I just took the wrong road and that's all. And then they create something else here, I smoked marijuana and I drank a little bit and I did Xanax here and there just to relax myself because it's history now and I need Xanax. It's because I'm a nervous person.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they want somebody that relies on Xanax to be calm, to be a police officer.
Probably not, and has an alcohol problem.
Right.
Well, that's normal, but still.
Yeah.
He said, all of my life has been nothing but a nervous fucking mess. Jesus. Mm-hmm. Having said that, if I had kids now, I would beat the hell out of them if they started doing drugs and drinking because drinking and drugs are no dang good.
Yeah.
No dang good. Then he says, no damn good. I'm upgrading that dang to a damn. What do you say?
I need you to know just how I feel about this. And it's no dang good. Strike that. It's no damn good.
Susan, strike that. Strike the dang.
Yeah.
No, strike it. We're going damn. Okay.
This isn't for TV.
Continue dictation. Oh, my God. He said, drinking and drugs is no damn good, and I would beat the hell out of my son if I had to get that through his head. The jails was no good. I have to admit that. I think jails are good. The best thing to go through life is straight. And if I wouldn't have done all those damn drugs, smoked marijuana and whatever, I'd be in a lot better shape than what I am today. But I ain't going to sit here and ramble on about it. But anyway, that's it. So Here, I told you everything. I just didn't want my brothers to escape justice. I don't want to imply my brothers over this. I don't want to imply my brothers over this. Okay. And I wouldn't want to do that. My older brothers, they're not in anything because I just ain't, and maybe they'll get probation. I don't know what they're going to get, or maybe they won't get nothing. I don't know. But don't let them lie to you, and don't let them lie to you. That they didn't help me make that 12-gauge shotgun. Make that 12-gauge shotgun?
He's making guns.
He's Frankenstein and shit. That sawed-off shotgun. Oh, he sawed it off. That's why. Okay. And don't let them lie to you and say that they didn't shoot it up there in Braxton County at our farm either, because they did, and we all laughed about it, except my brother Jan. No, Jan shot. That's right. And Jaron didn't shoot it. Right. They're all J names.
Yep.
All of his brothers. Wow. Wow.
It's a very common thing in I think that is it hillbilly culture? I don't know. My grandparents did it to my aunts and uncles. It's
all J's?
All K's.
All K's, okay.
Even worse.
He acts like he's wrapping it up here. Okay, but he's not. All right, well, I'm going to be sending this out in the mail. Then I'm going to mention it and say, Luis, don't worry about Menendez. He don't seem too bright. I think he's talking about a cop. If he might be bright. I don't know. He just doesn't seem like he's too swift on. I'm gonna send this to. Timothy Matheny. That's the guy he sent it to.
Yep.
Lieutenant Matheny. Because don't ask me why, but I always liked he got in a wreck with my dad's car one time, and the man, he treated me nice, and I always did like him. I don't know why. I ain't gay.
Nobody. What?
What?
What the fuck happened?
Where the hell did he take that? He got in a car accident with my dad.
So hard.
Treated me decent. I ain't gay or nothing, but he's a nice guy. You can say a man is a decent guy and you liked him without anyone going, I bet he wants to suck his dick.
I always liked that Matheny. I wouldn't deep throat.
I don't want it up my fucking can or nothing, but, I don't want to take it in the twins or nothing, but I'm just saying.
He just went so hard.
Wow. He went John Wayne Gacy there in a second. I ain't no fruit picker. Don't get me wrong here, pal. But
nice guy.
He said, wow, I always did like him. Don't know why. I ain't gay. I've had a lot of girlfriends. Some fellers you meet, he said. Yeah. Some fellers you meet, and you just like I liked him. And I'm going to make sure he gets this letter. And he's the smartest one, I think, out of the whole bunch.
Great guy.
He had to clarify, not only is he not gay, he's had lots of girlfriends. Just so you know, not only do I want to have sex with women, I practice it as well. So it's not like
what I'm telling you is I would be thanking him graciously by blowing him. It wouldn't even interest me. I'd find no pleasure in it.
It's not for sexual gratification for me. I just think he's a smart guy.
It's just for him.
It's just being a decent neighbor, really. So he says, yeah, he's the smartest one. So, good luck with everything. Good luck with investigating my shit. By the way, he's still not even close to done. And I hope you heed my words. So, all right, I'll have this mailed out by, I might make 2 copies. I don't know. I want to make sure that the truth gets out. But not that every freaking body, I'm sure they're not going to have this on television, telling everybody about it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want that. All right. But into Matheny, I just want to tell you that I think you're probably the brightest cop they have up there to catch him. So hats off to you. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Gotta go.
Click.
Okay.
All done and over, sending it off. Mm-hmm. Nope. It turns back on.
Just a sec.
Quote, but I got one more thing to say. I have to add this. Yeah. One more thing. People love John Mankillens and grapes and all his stuff. And I bet you guys are all tickled to death you've got something to do now, aren't you? Just tickled to death. Well, all right. I'm glad to give you guys some crime. Okay, bye-bye. Doesn't click it off, though.
Is that the Grapes of Wrath author?
I think he's what he's talking about. Then he says, true, and I am in my right mind, but I don't think that I should take the blame for this thing that my brothers and Tom Rosh helped me do. I really don't think so. I really don't think I should. Now, if they get off, fine and dandy, whatever. And would it surprise me? No.
Not even a little.
No. But are they involved? And then are they? And then, they are involved. And then as they act so smug about, well, you did it, and Jim would be the one to get in trouble. But anyway, that's the whole deal. What happened? What? I hope they share it. I hope they share it in Baker's family. You have some closure. She did the wrong things at the wrong time. If she wouldn't have been sitting on her fucking ass, this would have never happened. Never would have happened. Nothing less she tries to do. You got to tone down that mission over there. That ain't no place for people needing to be a bum.
Is that the church?
He's talking about someone else who was murdered I guess they were someone from the mission. It was probably a homeless person getting something and I think murdered a woman there. So he's saying that if she wouldn't have been sitting on her fucking ass, this would have never happened. I don't know what he's saying here. He's trying to blame the victim. I don't know what he's doing here. That ain't no place for people needing to be a bum. Tom DeHolzio, I'll buy a green. I'm not narrow-minded. Okay? But I see so many people over there, and I'm like, he can work. He could do this. He could do that. He's talking about the mission, people at the mission.
Why are you? Don't judge me while I judge all these people who are down on their luck.
You can't judge me for murdering and
such. You don't know me.
That man don't have no job.
He don't deserve a handout.
His legs work. He said he could do that. He could do this. Why doesn't he do this? Why doesn't he do that? He could lay over there and be a fucking bum, fraternizing amongst each other, and they smoke cigarettes outside, talk downstairs. Hell, they're in their own little family, and it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing until it's going to get to the point where it's going to be so big and silly that it's going to be stupid.
Okay.
Whew. That, I think that's about all I need to say. But like I said, Sergeant Menendez, or whatever the fuck his name is, I'd lose the weight, okay, Barry?
He judges harder.
Yes, you're fat fuck. He keeps going on. He says, and I'm afraid that since you have exacerbated my plans, yeah, I think he means expedited, because he said move it up a few months.
Oh.
I think he means expedited, but he's saying exacerbated. I don't think he has the right word there. Because there will be a few more people that are going to die because of it. But sooner than later. But, don't worry, it won't happen later. It'll be sooner. You'll find them bodies. But I have, there are 4 bodies out to Braxton County on our farm. We have 96 acres.
You'd have to search 25 acres to find one?
To find one. He said, quote, they're buried well. I've been doing this for 4 years. I've been doing this now for 4 years.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. I had that camp right there for about 4 years almost, and I've been killing women and taking them out there night and day, but I can give you a hint.
Please do.
I can give you a hint.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah, they'll be hard to find, trust me, because I got that. And you can't hear them, and it makes it look just like natural ground, some sort of tool, I think, here. You know what I'm saying? I even went back after it sunk down and put more dirt on it. And I mean, that didn't, because I go up there all the time, I made them look like there wasn't even nothing there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to tell you where they're at. But I will tell you that there's 4 bodies at the farm on your property, so that, on our property, so that ought to help you out a little bit. We've got 96 acres, so see what happens.
Good looking.
Wow. He's like, I'm just going to give you a little scavenger hunt. He says, but anyway, as far as the Cannon Decker case goes, I understand, and that stupid bitch who got on my cell phone and made all those fucking calls when I thought it was fucking credit card, she'll be lucky if I don't kill her before I get out of here.
Uh-huh. He had to pay for her bills.
He had to pay her bills. But yeah, that's the one he was talking about. Mm-hmm. But I could take her around, and I could go to court, and I could go get arraigned, and I could do this, I could do that. But you know what? I don't want to do that.
No.
I could get arrested and do all that, but nah.
Come and get me.
He said I could do that and get out of jail and be a free man, but I had this plan to begin with, and it was going to happen in September. And it just so happens that it got exacerbated from Stephen Menendez coming to my house.
Yeah.
Things have a funny way of working out like that.
Is that what he said?
He said things have a funny way of working out like that. Someone comes over, more people have to die. You know how it works.
Life. It's crazy.
Life stuff. Super weird.
Shit comes up.
He said, but I'm like, But like I said, I'm going to say it one more time, but I can't get over how you could have a fat cop like Steven Menendez on your force when you could have a killer like me. I don't understand why you have a fat guy when you could have a murderer like me.
You hired him instead of me, and you deserve. Yeah, okay.
He says, well, I could have shot him in the face, and I could have brought him in my fucking make him park his car, brought him to my house, shot him. Ha ha. He actually said. He sure is not too intimidating, and I think I could have took him very easy. Unless he could have gotten the mace on me or something. But, yeah, lose some damn weight. Be a police officer, not a fat officer.
What?
Oh, my God. This is awesome. This is awesome right now.
Not a fat officer.
Be a police officer, not a fat officer. I thought he was going to say be a police officer, not an obese officer.
Yeah,
that would have been
right,
at least like he's trying to be
at
clever.
At least it rhymes, yeah.
At least, that's what I mean.
If you said that in 8th grade, your friends would be like, try harder, come on.
Be not a fat. Yeah, you could be mocking a cop and they'd all go, that kind of sucked,
that
bro.
Was stupid, man.
You suck. When we're done mocking him, we're all going to turn our attentions to you.
You're next.
For that. You're next. He said, but that's it. The advice I'm going to give you, I mean, what good does it? What good does it do for me to give people advice? I'm done. I'm giving you advice. Maybe you'll straighten up and lose some weight and do the right thing. And, whatever. And I can't think of anything else to say, but there'll be no good evidence in the house. And Carol Lynn Baker's Carrie, she called her Sherry and Carol. Her name is Carrie. Yeah. He fucked it up both times. Leaked all over. Her blood's all over the floor in the bedroom, but it's bowed up by now. But the Regina carpet cleaner that I used to suck it up, Carrie Lynn Baker's blood. He finally got it right. Carrie Lynn Baker's blood with is over at John's house. So he's saying you won't find any evidence here. Cleaned it all up, but if you go grab that carpet cleaner from my brother's house, you'll find her DNA all up in this shit. He said, he told me it would be safe over there, and, he just admits Joe, he wasn't worried about it. But I wanted to keep it over here, I have the shotgun over here, but of course I don't have it now. I'm going to take it over to Jeff's today and hide it. But like I said, would you please keep it over there at your house? I just did not want it over here. But it's got all the DNA. There's going to be Carrie Lynn's DNA in that damn, because I'll tell you what, if there isn't any of her cute DNA in that sweeper, I'll kiss your ass. Ha, ha, ha.
I'll kiss your ass. I love that saying so much.
There ain't none of that cute dead girl's DNA in there. I'll kiss your ass. Ha, ha. That's what he said. But like I told you, I told you where her body's at. Mm-hmm. Then he goes on, because he didn't tell you where the body was at.
No, he didn't.
Now he says, go past Green Hills on 57, past the Barber County line. The Green Hills Methodist Church will be up on your right, up to where you pull off. There's telephone poles and places to pull off. Along through there somewhere, it was dark. I took her body and I drug it over the hill. Now, animals will have her shirt all over the place. I don't know. But there's a dead body over that hill, and this is the God's honest truth, and they're going to put this on her tombstone. She died July the 15th. Mm. Okay. Then he says 2009. I meant 2008, not 2009, 2008. Okay. So he clicked off before he got the year. And then he had to go back and do the year. Yeah. And so he's done, right?
Yeah.
Nope, he's back.
Hey, it's me again.
But having said that, if she wouldn't have been a fucking prostitute up in town, which is a wrong thing to do any damn way.
Again, with the judgment.
Oh, it gets so much better, Jimmy. It gets so much better. I just have to read this whole paragraph because it's fucking wild. Yeah, right. His judgment is
top
the things
tier.
it's okay. Arson, fine. That's okay, unless it's my brother's helping me do it. But then it's like, why would you help me, you scumbag? I'm a nice guy, and you're helping me? What a scumbag.
Yeah.
Prostitution's bad, but, you should kill people if they're prostitutes then.
Yeah, you got to get rid of them.
His moral compass is all fucking skewed. It's like Stranger Things. It's going everywhere. She said, having said that, if she wouldn't have been a fucking prostitute up in town, which is a wrong thing to do in any damn way because it corrupts families, brings herpes home to the family. That's his main concern. Brings herpes home to the family. Hey, kids, I brought herpes home. Yay! I was hoping for Kentucky Fried Chicken, but herpes is just as good. Yay! I really wanted Burger King, but herpes.
You can't show up late to the family gathering without, you can't show up empty-handed.
No, if it's what are we talking about here? Yeah, if you have a gathering, if it's a big potluck.
You can't show up smooth-cocked.
You always bring the herpes. Everyone's excited for that.
Don't worry, kids.
He said, quote, it's just a nasty deal all the way around.
Okay.
She shouldn't have been doing that up here, so she lost her life for $100. So, she's pretty stupid herself.
Good Lord.
Holy, this guy is just... I've never seen someone who has so little self-reflection.
Yeah.
Self-awareness. He won't look at himself at all. Because never mind awareness, he hasn't even looked in the mirror yet to be aware
that he's there.
Yeah, he doesn't even know that. But like I said, when it comes to being a killer, you're a killer at a young age. I just struggled at a young age. It was just in me all the time. I mean, as you get older and things happen in your life, and they just blossom into problems, which happened to me, so to judge me, you would be very stupid.
Okay.
You just judged her.
Right.
You don't know what her life was to lead up to the point of being a prostitute that would go with your scummy ass for $100. What do you think led to that? Good things, sunshine, and she was an equestrian champion? What are we talking about here?
She had a degree from fucking Harvard, and she
decided
to suck your dick for $100?
The debutante balls, all that stuff. No, I don't think you don't know her life, and just like she don't know your life. So,
right.
Yeah, that's
she was goodly enough to blow you for $100.
$100. That's a wonderful line that Kevin Smith wrote. Goodly enough to blow me. That's a wonder. It was goodly enough to sleep with me, Dante said.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great line. So to say what I did wrong is not because what I did is wrong, but to judge me and to say how I got into this position, you cannot make an informed judgment. You cannot make a truly informed judgment on that because you do not know. And I know that you do not make informed judgments on something you do not know what you're talking about because then what you're doing is you're talking a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Don't talk that bullshit.
I would say that's the best way to describe that paragraph. A bunch of fucking bullshit. I don't know what he's talking about. He's just, click, by the way.
Yeah, okay. He's done now.
Bunch of fucking bullshit. Click. I'm done.
It's a good walkout.
Okay. And he clicks it back on. What I meant to say was uninformed judgment. Sorry. Now click. Right? Now we're done.
The closer it was done, man. You can't come back.
Well, he just wanted to clarify. Now it's done. Okay. Nope, here he comes again. But I can't understand how you didn't catch that. He's continuing.
Yeah.
Maybe because he's so fat and stupid. That's probably why the cop. I don't understand how you didn't catch that. That was a total farce. If I would have if I was the captain or whatever, the fuck captain of the police department. That's the title you want there. I'm fuck captain. I've been promoted to fuck captain. Fuck captain of the police department, and I knew that what went down in that fire, there'd be some talking to. Trust me on that one. Meaning the fat officer who didn't get him. Them dudes probably wanted to get back home to that warm pussy. You know what I'm saying? Fat boy's got warm pussy at home. Awesome. I think he's not going to change. His life is great. I think that, but with the firemen, the fire burned up and the fire burned everything up. But hell, there was meth and that fire was over. Okay? Didn't look for shit. It was back in the something, a flashlight looking for stuff. It was just like 2 minutes. Didn't ask no neighbors in the back, no neighbors anywhere. Did they see anything suspicious? Meaning they didn't do a fire investigation. Yeah. They went around with a flashlight for 2 seconds and went, I don't know. That's it.
I don't see it.
I mean, to me, that's fucking impotent. He loves it. But then, who am I? I mean, who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying?
Who am I?
Who am I? I mean,
don't
honestly,
know.
I can't figure it out no more.
We don't know you. You told us. We don't know you.
He said, but then who am I? You know, I'm just saying that's fucked up. Yeah. That's what he says. But anyway, yeah, I didn't want my brothers to get away with this. So if they do, they do. But at least be glad you know the truth. All right. Bye. Click.
Okay. That's the end.
That's the end, right? That has to be everything, right?
I said bye.
Okay, here I am again. That's literally the next thing that pops up. Okay, here I am again.
He's a Ray Stevens song.
It's wild. Yeah, it's just he keeps going, thought you were rid of me, right? Ha ha.
Hello, Margaret.
I have yeah. I have something else I wanted to add. Because this is the only conversations we'll ever have. We'll never have had conversations face to face, so we might as well make the best of this, hadn't we? Okay. A main thing, you know, I've been with the Health Access for a long time, and they are a great organization.
Okay. So he's on Access.
Yeah, I have all the respect in the world for those people. They have been nothing but nice to me. I love them to death. I hopefully will be able to give them a letter written and get it out to them and tell them how much I cared about how they treated me over the years and how much I appreciate it. But there's one bad thing. There's a fat guy working that. No, I'm just kidding. I had this a nurse, and it was Rose Harlow, and she was a nurse practitioner when I first started out, and she was down there, and I had depression real bad, and I don't know. I always had depression. I guess I was, people back when we were kids. I'm 45. Depression, it didn't, it was depression as fuck. Okay?
Yeah, I mean...
If you didn't feel good, you didn't feel good or whatever. They didn't really emphasize it much like they do today. Yeah, in the 1972, they were like, I don't know, go run around for a while. So, but anyway, yeah, I had a depression my whole life, and I cried a lot. And I'm not telling you this to make you feel sorry for me, because that's the last thing I need is for someone to feel sorry for me, because people need to feel sorry for the victims, not me. Okay?
Yeah.
But I was having these feelings here. I was having these here feelings, about these women, and I didn't like it, and it was a hateful feelings. I mean, I'm not a bad-looking guy. I could have got any, not any woman, but I could have. I had all the pretty girls, but it just never seemed to work out for me. So I got in. I guess I actually was a jealous person anyway to begin with, because I had gotten with a woman when I was 15 years old and she was 30, and caused me to become more insecure because she fucked with my head because I was so young and she was so young and she was so old and I was so young.
Yeah, she was a pedophile, friend.
Yeah, that's called a pedophile.
Right.
Yeah,
You got molested. We get it. You have a depression. You have lots of depression, friend.
Keep that, by the way, in mind for later.
Yeah.
15, 30. Uh-huh. Okay. Said, so, that kind of hurt me a little bit there. That was in the back of my head about women, you would whine and say, this bitch got to do this to me. This bitch going to do what the girl did to me, what Jan did to me. So then I went to see Rose Clark for the first time at Health Access, and she's such a nice lady, and she'd seen just that I was just edgy, not just bags under my eyes, just looked like I'd been through hell. I'd been through depression. That darn near Harlow woman, she tried to get me on medicine that didn't even help me a bit. So then Rose gave me some pills that were called Lexapros. Mm-hmm. And it was 10 milligram to begin with, but I noticed 20 would help cut the edge off my day.
You needed double.
Yeah. I mean, I was fucking miserable every day, I never felt good. And, if I had felt good, if I had a good life, I wouldn't be talking to you now about everything I've done. It hasn't been the greatest life for me, but I ain't crying about it because at least I can walk and talk and do things that a lot of people can't do.
Yeah, because, Lexapro.
And kill and strangle and shoot, Lexapro.
Laugh Lexapro.
I just wish I could have given my good body to my nephew Benjamin, and he could have had a good life, and I could have been in the wheelchair and had a bad life. And instead, I had good limbs and arms, and I wasted them. Mm-hmm. But anyway, to talk about Lexapro, and then what happened was I was having these bad feelings about these women, and this is the God's truth, and not like I was wanting to shoot them and do whatever. It was just all fantasy. But then I started taking the Lexapro, and it made me want to start doing it.
What?
That's what he said. The Lexapro made him want to take his fantasies into a reality here.
So it gave him the courage to move forward.
Well, you know what? When you're depressed, it's very hard to do things. That's one thing about depression.
Yeah. Lexapro's a motivator. I'll give it
like,
that.
You're sitting there like, I really want to go kill women, but, I just don't really want to move. We've all felt like that.
Yeah.
Who hasn't sat around going, I'd love to go serial kill women? But I'm just so fucking depressed. I just don't want to get out of bed.
Got a lot to do today, and I am not, the blanket is so heavy. I'm not moving. I'm not going to do it.
The only time I've rooted for depression here.
If you've got so many thoughts in your head to go murder, and you're depressed and can't get it together, never seek help.
Nope, just stay in bed. I don't know. That is wild. But yeah, he says Lexapro made him want to start doing it. He said, and that was how I killed Carrie Lynn Baker to begin with. Lexapro. What? I took not with Lexapro, but that helped him. I took that damn Lexapro and I was just out looking for somebody to kill. It changed my whole fucking mind. Oh. So it took him from this kind of feckless, just a depressed person who didn't have any motivation to do anything, and made him.
This is the worst advertisement for Lexapro ever.
This is great. Yeah, that's a good commercial. Guy in bed, feeling bad. He gets some Lexapro. Next thing you know, he's fucking looking on the streets, pulling over. You're like, oh, he's going to talk to this lady, and then he picks up a woman and murders her. Yeah, that's a Lexapro commercial. Before, I just didn't have it in me to kill. I wanted to. In my heart, I wanted to kill, and I knew I could kill, but my depression just wouldn't let me. But Lexapro lets me fulfill my potential as a murderer. It really does.
If you just really want to get your taxes done, you'll get them done, because guess what I did?
Yeah, I mean, there are less ladies than there were this morning because of Lexapro. So, yeah, he said, I was looking for somebody to kill. It changed my whole fucking mind. It all happened last year, turkey season, around 2008. I mean, that's all I thought about was shooting some fucking body. That's exactly when my mind really started changing. But I mean, I'd never hurt anybody. I didn't even like to fist fight. But then there was something about Lexapro that I was taking made my mind change to want to, instead of fantasizing about doing something, I wanted to do it. And I did it, and I was out looking for it, and I wanted to do it. And then after I'd done it, I felt bad about it, and now I want to do it again. Oh my God. What? Wow, is that a journey? Okay,
what
gotta
a roller
start
coaster.
Oh my God! Instead of fantasizing about doing something, I wanted to do it, and I did it, and I was out looking for it, and I wanted to do it, and then after I'd done it, I felt bad about it, and now I want to do it again, which is what serial killers do.
Yeah,
that's their cycle.
Yeah,
and then they cooled down. That's I feel bad about it. That's I cooled down. Now I'm not in a fucking rage to do this, or I'm not in a whole tizzy to do this. Yeah. And but now after a little bit, I want to do it again.
Got to do it again.
So yeah. So now I'm glad that Steven Menendez has exacerbated this. This poor fat exacerbating bastard. So I can get this over with because I just want to rest. And I don't know. I may not rest. I'll probably go to hell. I don't know. How can they put a mortal person like us on this earth with all the demons and temptations and things like that, and it says in the Bible that the flesh is weak? How in the hell are we supposed to put up with all this stuff? All these desires to kill from a young age. How are we all supposed to put up with it? Wow, how are we supposed to put up with all this stuff? Hell, we'd have to live in monasteries.
Have people watching over us? No, people like you live in prisons.
Prisons is a different type of monastery.
Yeah.
Because everywhere you look, there's sex everywhere. It's summertime. The girls are out showing off everything they got. I mean, it's like Billy Graham said one time, meaning not superstar Billy Graham, the wrestler, Billy Graham, the Reverend. The Reverend here. Uh-huh. He says, like Billy Graham said one time, he said, these poor men now, women have more sin to deal than ever before. These poor men, and they can't, how could they stand up to these sin-dealing women?
Such
Look
victims.
at her tits, is what he said.
Yeah. Her ass is so tight. You can see it right there. The pants are so tight you can see every dimple in her thigh.
And he just used that to
fair.
justify. Wow. Oh, my God.
We can do whatever we want because we can see half her titty.
Well, once her tits are out, then poor men. He says I feel so sorry for him, and he's right. But that still doesn't make up for what I've done. He really flip-flops.
No, yeah.
But anyway, I just want to give you a brief summary on that. And like I said, there's 4 women up at the farm, and they're all buried within our property, but I'm not going to tell you where. They're buried. They're not buried together. I'll put it like that. They're hundreds of yards apart. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I found places that where it was like indentations already, and then I could, dig it up. And then the last time I buried her up there, it's been almost a year, so I'm sure vegetation has grown up. So you got to take cadaver dogs up there. I don't know. I buried all of them naked, so there was no other other clothes or nothing, no identification, no earrings, no anything like that. I make sure that they had on when they died. Okay.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity. And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep shoppers coming back with personalized experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge. In fact, it's proven, based on a report from EY, businesses on Shopify POS see real results, like 22% better total cost of ownership and benefits, equivalent to an 8.9% uplift in sales on average relative to the market set surveyed. Want more? Check out at shopify.com/Wondery. All lowercase, and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity. Shopify.com/Wondery.
Now, the burial sites here that we're talking about here, Carrie Lynn Baker was shot twice in the head, and they found her skeletal remains that were over a year old.
And she was a prostitute?
That's the one he was talking about. That's why he kept getting her name wrong, because he didn't know her.
Because she gave her a different name, probably.
He knew her real name, but he just kept getting the first name wrong.
Right.
Called her Sherry, called her Carol.
Carrie,
Yeah, so her name's Carrie. So up there they also find Carolyn Sourween.
Oh, 2 of them.
A 40-year-old woman.
Oh, no.
From Philippi. She was found on the family farm here. In Braxton County. She was killed by blows to the head with a blunt object. This is recent, by the way.
Oh.
She was reported missing in the last week.
Oh, no.
When he's saying all this stuff, as you'll find out, he talks about wanting to kill her because this is the woman who ruined his life.
Oh.
Ruined him.
Yeah.
This is Carolyn. So that's what he talks about.
Of what that means yet.
Nope, they found her. They found her up there, and he'll explain that. He also goes on to say, quote, but there were also prostitutes, and I promised them a wild weekend at the farm.
Oh, boy.
He took them, oh, my God. And one thing about the farm, I can go up there and nobody bother me. But anyway, I guess I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening. You know what I mean? It's going to be hell in trouble here pretty soon. And I'm not scared to die because I almost died one time, and I know what it's like. But I don't know what it's like to almost die after you've killed somebody either. It might be worse. What?
I was babbling.
So I don't know, but I'm going to find out. But I just want my life to be over with. I miss my mother and my father. You know, my life is just not happy. It's not ever going to be happy again, and you can just tell. Yeah, you know what I mean? You can just tell. That's what he says.
You've murdered people and you're confessing to the cops. I'm pretty sure the rest of your life is going to suck.
I can just tell, you know. Yeah. Maybe it's because I'll be in prison if I live, or, you know. He says, I can just tell, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he says, you know what I mean? And you know whose mostly fault it is? The man who's talking now on this phone right now. Mm-hmm. I don't blame nobody but me. And I had to bang those Lexapro. I don't want no lawsuit to come against Health Access by no means at all. Nobody be suing them. Yeah. Because for all I know, that might not have been what done it. All I know is when I started taking Lexapro, that's when my mind completely changed. I don't know if Lexapro changed my mind, but I know when I started taking it, my mind completely changed. That's what he just said.
Right. I don't know if that was the exact thing that did it, but from the moment I started taking it, I was a different person.
It did something. It's completely different. I mean, completely changed from fantasizing about wanting to do it. I was out wanting to do it. And then when I got the chance to do it, I did it. So I know I'm a mess.
Yeah.
But I just don't want anybody to give me, and it's garbled, and send me something. I don't know what my brothers were capable of doing later on in life. If you look back in the history of the Childers family, we've done some things that's been pretty crazy. But there's one thing I want to tell you. Now, when this all goes down, I don't know what I'm going to be driving. I know one thing. I'm going to be at the farm. It's too small of an area. You'd find me too easy. Too many railroad, too many tracks. Too many four-wheel tracks. Why, they'd be all over the fucking place. The neighbors would be out looking for me, every fucking thing else. That'd be a big deal up there. So as far as you wanting to look at the farm, you can if you want, but I'm not going to be there. As a matter of fact, I will probably be where you wouldn't even think I would be.
Where's that?
In your own closet. Deputy Menendez, you fat fuck. Hiding behind your quadruple X uniform shirts in your closet.
I'll be somewhere you least suspect me to be. A gay bar, because I ain't gay. I just want to know that one guy.
I had a lot of girlfriends. Where I would be. And I'm sure I'm going to be, and I'm sure that when I burn my trailer at the farm, I'm going to go ahead and burn my car, too. So we'll see what happens there. I love how he says that. So we'll see what happens there. But, I'm sad that it's over, but I knew it had to be, and I'm glad it's over because I'm tired of living like this. The longer that I live, the more things I'm going to have to deal with. Yeah, that's life. But another thing, that Joan Post, if I do get lucky enough to kill that fucking cunt, real casual, like, wow, if I do get a chance to kill that fucking cunt, it's not because I love her or that I wanted her. I dated that girl. I broke up with her 4 or 5 different times. I just was fucking with her, somebody to fuck with. Okay. I don't want that woman. She's fucking ugly and smokes cigarettes. I hate cigarettes. So if I do get the chance to kill her, it ain't going to be over some love tryst. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be because I don't like that bitch.
She's a bitch.
she's a bitch and she smokes cigarettes.
She smokes and she's ugly.
So what do you want? Another thing is, I don't want to be dead and them sitting over there talking, saying that I wanted that son of a bitch's dick because that's how they talk. So there'll be a big misconception that they paid for that killer because I love her, because it's completely fucking wrong. I just wanted that out there, it would be completely wrong for people to think that I still love her, which I do not. How many times has he said this? I'm not repeating myself. He's repeating himself. I've been with that bitch 6 or 7 times. I just didn't like her or her mom's fucking smart-ass attitude.
Okay, so her mom's awful, too.
Yeah, I got to kill her, too. Remember, it was her and her mom you wanted to kill? That son of a bitch did this. Son of a bitch. You know what I mean? You know. So I hope I get to kill her. And I'm looking right now, trying to find her address, and hopefully I'll find it. Then one night I'll go over there and I'll shoot her and her mother, and that'll do. But It'll be on the run. And that'll do.
So is he an incel? Is that what this is? I can't
no,
tell.
he has girlfriends.
Yeah.
No, he went out. The Carolyn woman, they were on and off dating
How did
too.
she ruin
He
his
dates women
life?
all the time. Who knows? But like I said, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to burn down my camper and I'm burning down my car at the same time. Then I'll have another car that you won't know anything about that I'll have with me, and I'll go as far as I can go.
That's
but
the one. Yeah.
yeah, I'll also tell you this much. I have enough money to last me quite a while, too. So I've told you just about enough. I haven't told you where I was going to go after I did all this stuff, so that was the part you probably want to find out about, but I just can't do that. So anyway, like I said, You got it. There. He said, then he says, click. Okay, it's not a click because he clicked it off. It's click because that's the end of side A.
Oh, my God.
Background, he flips it over and he says, no, you should have. And there's music in the background for a while. Then there's an unknown male and female talking in the background. People just going, yeah, some music, conversation in the background, more music, some dog barking for a couple minutes, more music. Then he comes back and says, okay, so I guess I'm starting another side.
Side B.
Side B. Yeah. I also wanted to stay home Memorial Day weekend. I got pulled over by a county police officer. Like I said, my name is James Childers. We got that by now, sir.
Yeah.
And I opened up the glove compartment box, and out felt that .22 Humanet. Is that a gun?
I don't know. Never heard of it.
And that .25 Jimenez that I had, that I used to kill Carolyn Sourween with on Labor Day up there at our farm. You'll find her. She's on the logging road on our land going up the hill. As soon as you get to where it starts to go up a steep hill to the left, and it's a shallow grave, which if you have the cadaver dogs, they'll have no trouble finding her. She'll be there. She had on a gold and silver watch and whatever, but she won't have her glasses on. I left her clothes on, took the keys out of her pocket. I don't know what else she had, but she's just in a shallow grave. But what I'm trying to say is if with that, there wasn't a clip in that gun nor a shell, the gun when he got pulled over. Yeah. Now, if I was carrying that gun wrong and he didn't take that gun from me and let me go and didn't do the right thing by taking the gun, if that was what he was supposed to do, then he could have saved a death. I'm just telling you guys all this stuff. That way you can, in the future operations, maybe during these domestic violences, you'll know to go about it another way. But, Carolyn Sourween, I did, cry a little bit about her, and that's the truth. But now I look back on how miserable she made me and made my life. It's, since May of 1991. That's when he met her. He's known her for 18 years.
He is this long?
He's known her this long. And how she ruined my life. I don't really regret it. I'm glad she's gone now. Now, other people said that they knew they'd known each other since at least 2001, but he says May of 91. Apparently, they were romantically involved on and off.
Yeah.
They had a very stormy relationship, and she was her brother, Carolyn's brother, Chris, said that his sister had been friends with James Childers for several years, but relatives had discouraged what they believed was what he called an unhealthy relationship. He said Carolyn is intelligent and compassionate and also suffers from a mental illness, but he didn't elaborate on what it was.
Great.
So she's vulnerable to him, is what that means. The James Childers we know was quite different from the amiable person described in the recent news media. Remember all those neighbors going, he's just a nice guy.
Sweetheart.
Quote, he was mentally abusive toward Carolyn, and he would take money from her. He would show up during times when Carolyn received her disability check. At least once he had stolen her glasses so she couldn't see.
What?
What a monster.
So
and what
she's got terrible eyesight, and he steals them so she can't see anything?
Remember by the way, remember what he just said when he buried her? She didn't have her glasses on, but I gave her all. He took her fucking glasses then, too. Like, see, you don't have them now either. That means something to him. Wow. He says about her, quote, so she kept telling me, Jimmie, why don't you take me up on your farm and put a bullet in my head? Why don't you take me to the farm and put a bullet in my head?
Huh?
She was begging to be shot at the farm, is what he's saying. And she thought that car was going to be the dream thing for her. And then she said, why don't you take me that car is not what I want, she said. Why don't you take me to the farm and put a bullet in my head? I have to admit, she did suffer a lot. She was the one who had her skull bashed in, is what happened. He didn't shoot her. She was always by herself. She was a misfit, just like me. I'm a misfit in this world. I don't fit, and she didn't either. And when I shot her one time, and then she said, James, I think it was like saying, James, thank you. And then I shot her again, and she was dead, and I put her up in that shallow grave. So she was the shot one. I'm sorry. Carrie Lynn was the one who was bashed her skull in. And don't let them tell you that they didn't shoot that shotgun, and don't let them tell you that John. Okay, so he's talking about
they shot too.
The brothers. Yeah. He said he didn't, and I didn't tell you that. James Childers did, and so did Jeff. He's James Childers, by the way, and so did I. And Jeff, like I said, helped me to make the shotgun. He's talking about now. I love my brothers, but I don't like none of them. Okay, he's back to this again. All right,
your
but
B-side is a lot of the first side.
It's a lot of the first. Yeah, it's, you know what? This could have been a single album, is what we're saying. He said, but all right, but having said that, I could have made something up about Jan. I could have said Jan did this or Jan was involved in that. Well, you know what? He wasn't. That's why he wasn't involved. That's why that wasn't involved in it, but they were. They should pay like I paid, like Carrie paid. You know what I mean? He should pay. Of course, he didn't kill anybody. And neither did John or Jeff. They should all pay, though, just like you, even though they didn't kill anybody. Right. He just helped out with the murder. Tom Rhodes, he didn't. He helped me out with, the commencing of the fire we did. Watch out and stuff. And like I said, he's seen all that shit. I felt like kicking his ass after the investigator, after he got his mess ahead. He, for the first campaign, crossed his head come too damn quick. I don't know what the fuck that means. Yeah, okay. And then we owed to Dan Mopop. No, I said nothing. You'll end up with all these stupid cockamamie something or other. Say it wasn't true. He says he's seen a damn dog walking through the hall, and that son of a bitch dog was in the damn cage, and we both knew that. He did. He's stupid. He's trying to get himself in trouble. But like I said about my brother Jan, even though I didn't get along with any of my brothers, ignore my brother Jan. Much, I guess, because I was such a loner or whatever, I would never lie and say he did something he didn't do, because that wouldn't be right. But don't let John and Jeff lie to you about their part in this, because what I said they did, they really did. You can take that for however you want, but I had to leave that on there, because if I don't, I feel like the judges didn't get all the way around. And my life will probably end with a 12 gauge shotgun in my mouth blowing off the top of my head, which will be what I deserve, and I will get my just desserts, so everybody else does. And that would be fine with me. If you did it, get your just desserts. If you didn't do it, then you don't get no dessert. That is not what that means.
It's not how it goes.
That is not at all. Wow.
If you didn't get your just desserts, prison time? That's not the same, dude.
If you didn't do it, then you don't get no dessert. But anyway, that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. When I get ready to, I'm going to mail this out to Matheny and a note. And in other words, it'll be a note and a piece. On side A of this tape is most of the conversation, and side B is just either the finish of it right now or maybe later on today or tonight. I might add some more to it. But like I said, if that man had found the gun that night when he pulled me over, James Childers, and that gun fell out of the compartment box, if he did the wrong thing by not taking the gun, even though it was empty and there wasn't the magazine, he should be reprimanded for that. I want to get everyone in trouble. I'm going to a new school. Let me tell you who puts gum under their desk. Let me tell you who smokes behind the bathroom. Yeah. Let me tell you who's doing this. But if he did the right thing and I was able to shoot the gun, then so be it. Then he did his job. But what I'm saying, and not only that, but when I opened up my trunk, he would not, when he showed me, to put my car, because I had put my little pistol in the trunk to keep it safe. So that's how it would be the way you were supposed to have it, he said. Hadn't been in a case, everything's right. Okay. The officer told him to put it in the trunk rather than have it in the glove compartment. So he said if that wasn't the right thing to do, you should get him in trouble. But that was something that he didn't know about. But I had a 22. I had brought a 22 back there loaded, a 22 Ruger, which I had with a Luger Ruger. Ruger.
I know.
And okay,
it's the Mark
good.
II. I've got one.
And it was underneath a bunch of the stuff. I said, and he did not search. He had a nice piece of pussy on the mind that night or something. That's all he thinks about. Bottom line is, to what I'm saying is the man who turned me in, or the man who stopped me when I was driving by, if he did not do his job right, if he had not done his job right, Carolyn wouldn't be lying dead up there like she is now. And I'll tell you another thing. If Dickhead would have done his job right and took me, who knows what would have happened, Maybe I wouldn't have been able to shoot her. I wouldn't have killed her. Maybe I would have changed my mind and said, hey, I don't want to do this, just like Carolyn Sourween. But I want Joan Post and her mother. That's who I really want to kill. He goes on to say, I wouldn't have done that, but these people I do want to kill. But if I don't get them killed, that'll be all right with me. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just a small part of the puzzle.
What? Okay.
It's a puzzle, all right, sir.
Yeah.
My mom had a terrible life. I had a terrible life. My life's going to end short. My mother's life ended terrible. I just had my mother's luck, and I don't mind because I love my mother. But I ain't getting that freaking messy. All I'm saying that I do not want to have those lights shining on me, telling me to pull over, because once they get their hands on me and get my fingerprints, they're going to find out that I killed Carrie Lynn Baker and later. But since you know where her body is now, obviously not. Not at the farm, but like I said, there's 4 bodies at the farm. One of them is Carolyn Sourween. You'll find her easy. I made it easy for you to find her. As a matter of fact, there's down a little hill a bit, and you're going to pull right out, and she's in a shallow grave. A cadaver dog would have no trouble, but the other 3, you'll have trouble finding them because I took my time with them. He said, I worked and I had a relation, because like every day I would go and make sure he didn't say anything, because nobody ever did see it. But if they would, I'd just say that I was out looking for mushrooms or something, but there's never a problem. I never hurt anybody, and I got to bury them right. Okay? And I like I said, they're on 96 acres of property, so yeah, it sounds good. And another thing, you need to get your men and their operations down more pat. Now he's going to criticize the police force and their operations.
And your work ethic. Listen to this.
Yeah. That guy who pulled me over that last night of the fire when I started this, and he looked in my hand and he had to see if I was shaking or not, and I wasn't, because I knew what he was doing. He was looking at him. I didn't smell gasoline, but I swear to God I had a flashlight and some batteries with me, and I failed to decide why he turned around except to talk to me. Because what the hell are you doing out? And I said nothing. You hear about the fire, and then no more said about that. And the detective come that night, and it was just a poor, shabby, I guess, whatever you know. You can't put 10 million man hours, I understand, into one case when there's, you got so many cases. Let's face it. If you want to do a crime and you got halfway sense, you can do crimes and get away with it in this town. Probably pretty easy. Until the FBI set in and there was a serial killer or whatever, and they had to try to get up to it. But that's about it. I understand your work picture, and you don't have a whole lot of people to help you, and your lack of manpower. But the problem is in this state, what I did was stupid. Nothing I did. I put a body up there. Carol Sourween is up there. Sourween. Shallow grave. I could have took her body someplace else, put her somewhere, and then nobody ever able to find that girl. But I ain't worried about it. You should thought of her. Anyway, I get to help. Okay.
Now, that's the end?
No. But they found out at this point that he had been placing personal ads all over the place lately.
What?
Yes. This is crazy. He apparently used newspaper classified ads to possibly target people they're talking about now. He placed 2 ads offering work the week of May 20th, and advertised for female companionship in August and January. He also answered a recent ad looking for a caregiver of an elderly person, but he didn't get that job. The ads placed by Childers sought twice weekly housekeeping and help watching an elderly woman 3 days a week and 3 nights a week. But he lived alone, and there was never any elderly woman anywhere near him. So this was a scam that he was putting out there. So they said, we feel strongly at this point that he was placing ads and answered the one ad to identify potential victims.
And he's baiting them via what the fuck?
Yep, back to this is a deep hole here. He clicks it back on, and he comes back on again, and he says, you know, when I said I killed that person a long time ago, I got away with that, no problem. I could have got away with that, but listen, I have to be stopped. Okay, long time ago, he doesn't mean the woman he killed last year. He means 2004, when he killed a man named Cecil Ralph Hill.
Yeah?
Who was a friend of his and was his boss. He employed James. The death was ruled as a suicide, but then they said they thought there was some foul play. They thought he shot himself. This man left everything in his will to James Childers, which was crazy, and Childers was not only the last person to see him alive, but was there when police arrived.
And they thought maybe suspicious?
Yeah. Maybe suspicious. So, yeah, they're going to go ahead and dig him back up out of the fucking ground and see what they could find. Back to the letter, he said, or back to the recording. And I can't keep on killing like this because I get these urges. When I killed Carrie Lynn Baker, I felt I'd cry, and I fell down, and I felt trodden. I felt that, you know what, that went away, and then I wanted to kill again. He said he felt terrible and depressed. That went away. I wanted to kill again. So all will be happening right now. I kind of feel down. But I mean, later on down the road, if I got away with this one, I just want to do it again. So I think God has a way of doing things. So when the time comes to go, even though you could try to be God's flock and do your work neat, you just say hell with it, because in a way you do that, and you know you want to know why, you get sloppy till you run it to the owner. I'm so tired of this. It's just, I'm just tired of it. I mean, everything I know, I killed those people, and I've done some bad things, you know, but what has happened with my life, which I realize I know hasn't been that damn bad, but it hasn't been the greatest life either. He said, hell, we used to have all these talks and fill your head with wanting me to kill people and all these suicidal thoughts and all this crazy talk, and cried all the time until something. Then he's a lot of mumbling. It's if I would have went and they would have been diagnosed with me and being depressed, and he put me on more medicine, you know, I would have been doped up. Sure, it'd have been better to be doped up instead of, you know, then turn into the monster, which I turned into. I have big problems right now.
That's the most honest thing he's said so far.
Wow. They can take the junk and live off something, not to mention $700 that they can get from their disability checks, and using the system and not abusing for the right thing. And then people like me who need those pills for the right thing shut down, say you shouldn't be calm. I don't get them. Then I can ride up at Billy's just like Lexapro. Okay? I just started taking it. It wouldn't take me from fantasy killing to looking to do it. I mean, so to judge me, you just can't do it, because you would be making an uninformed judgment on me, and it wouldn't be right. Even though it's not right what I did, I should have never killed them girls. He said, Carolyn, I'm ready to just be passing time, and I wanted to do it again, and I didn't want it to happen. Okay? I wanted to do it again, but I didn't want it to happen. I knew it wouldn't. Then he says, you can get a cadaver dog over there. God, he keeps bringing that up. He says, and I want to tell him and the rest of the girls, I'm sorry about all this. He said, I don't know, but I want to leave a tape to let you know and give you an insight on the mind of what makes a killer a killer.
No, we don't. We need you behind bars. There was something already wrong with him. He's got mental health issues up by so much.
He's all fucked up. He said, and man, the trash, I've been cursing more than usual. It's weird. I think the worst thing that happened to makes you become a serial killer. Well, yeah, that would be the worst thing that could happen if you do anything. I've probably told I've been telling you all along, depression, not taking care of your depression, it'll turn you into a monster. It twists and turns. Well, you know what? But now, since I got over it, I started taking Xanaxes, which have been good. Started taking Xanax, which have been good for like a normal human being. Although it got to, what does he say? Something, you get a buzz, but if you don't take it, you're higher than a kite, flying too high, and you can get your blood pressure, and there's no right answer. We've all done bad things. The only thing I could hope for, I almost died one time. I know what it's like. So he says, but I wanted to be this way, and I had that. Menendez exacerbated the problem, although it did cost lives when he did that. But I mean, there might be more. Bye. Okay. Click. Okay. One more. Okay.
I'm back.
Back on. Forgot to mention about that damn devil ass and Jack Cecil and me. I thought I was going to be leaving town. Didn't know I was going to be doing these, committing suicide and doing all these killings and suicides. Wanted me to douse the house before I left. Oh, wait. He even gave me money. Well, he already paid me $5,000 for the house. He said normal deed would be $200, and he'd give me $5,000 when the attorney's office signed the deed. But, yeah, he thought he was going to get me over. He thought he was going to get over on me for $5,000, and he asked me to burn it down so he could collect the insurance. Well, fuck him. I'm going to burn... Fuck him. I'm going to burn the motherfucker down, and I hope I do need to burn down. And all those other assholes will get in trouble for it. If you don't, big deal. But if he does, he's been wanting to burn this fucking place down. He didn't give a fuck, Matheny. Something but a fucking parking lot, people whose money, and he trails off. I've done shitty things in my past. He knew, I'd burn someplace for somebody else, but I could mention a name. He's so politically involved that it'd be erased right off this page. So he's saying there's somebody else involved here. Mm-hmm. He says, I hope Jack Cecil gets what the hell's coming to him and for trying to screw me over the way he did. Click.
Oh, God.
And another thing.
Oh, my God.
If you go back and check your records, my daddy used to be a preacher man and an ordained minister or anything, but he always preached the word of God to me. But I was a faithful subscriber to CBN for 2 years and sent their last check on the 15th of this month, May. I tried to do the right thing.
Well, he's been tithing the whole time?
That's what he said. I tried to do the right thing. I feel there's something, not tithing, giving to a television show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not really tithing.
Christian Broadcast Network, though?
Yeah, it's what's his name? It's Billy Graham's one.
Is it?
Yeah. I feel there's something just would not allow me to do it. Whenever I had the opportunity to try, maybe to enjoy something or something to happen, something bad would happen. I could not win for losing. But I know this is all shit you don't want to hear, but I had to get it off my mind. Anyway, the public's not hearing any of this anyway.
Yeah, they are.
So there's not much difference. Bye. Okay. There you go. Back again.
No,
okay.
God damn it.
Jeff and John, his brothers. I don't know if the police is going to let you hear this or not, but it's how I feel and would make that you would help me make a gun to kill your brother Jim. Make you feel good? Make you feel good? Why did I have to be the one who do all these bad things? Why couldn't it been one of you guys? You guys are a lot worse than I was. John, you did 2 or 3 DUIs and did some time in California. Jeff, driven Jeff ever since I could remember, and he never did get caught. Why am I the one who always has to be the one that always has to be involved in all this shit? Now I have to worry about, and he trails off, I wish it would have been around you. I should have died young because you would have deserved this more than I do. But not now because of all the bad things I've done. So consider yourself lucky. You're alive. Until you get to work a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen to you. You probably will be off walking the streets in an hour, but at least you'll know, at least everybody will know that you did it and it won't be a lie. Not a lie. Then he takes a deep breath, it says, and he says, at least everybody will know what you did, and you can't lie about it. Oh, it could be speculation about this or that, of course, but how do you feel? You prefer jail until you're dead someplace now? I know you didn't, but I'm enjoying it now. I'm in a bad desperation here. The whole hell of a lot. Thank you a whole hell of a lot. Click. Clicked it off. Then he says, I'd like to add a tidbit to my story.
One more thing.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that gun. I want to hear a little bit of Jeffrey something. I got it hidden underneath his porch, and I'm going to take it with me because I think that's the gun I'm going to use to kill myself with because I strangled that one girl. I shot Carolyn in the head twice, which she kept saying, please take me to the farm and shoot me in the head. Please take me to the farm and shoot me in the head. All right, here you go. And I shot her. I've been with caught by the law for anything like that. I had the shotgun, couple pistols. I'll tell you what, that's all I have, the pistols. Maybe a half stick of dynamite. I don't know about that yet.
What?
Yeah, now he's like, I got that. Well, if I had that, I'd just blow myself up with that. A gas bomb or something. But yeah, it's funny. I'm going to go over today and get that gun tonight when no one's around. I'll sneak out. I'll sneak that gun out of Jeff's underneath the porch and take it with me in case there'll be a real nut and chase them when I'm ready to do it. Since I blew those two, I shot those girls, and they didn't turn. I'm going to do the same thing to me because that's what I got to do. But in that little tidbit right now, hopefully you'll get the mail and blah, 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 blah. He says, one who did the least of all this is Tom Motes. Only thing he did was he didn't like them either. He was just look out and said, hell, and said hell, help me. That's the way he put it. Helped us burn down this house. Okay, so I told Tom, I said, Tom, if you take that lie detector test, I said, and you tell the truth, and I'll shoot your fucking ass. This is beforehand. He's going to tell on him. So he says, so anyway, like I said, who am I? I'm the murderer. I'm the scum to you guys. I'd like to say one thing. You all need to work on your procedures.
Okay.
Again, you get lax too. The one time if you get lax like that stupid cop did on that night he pulled me over for weaving, he was a little lax, I think. If he was lax at his job, then he should have taken the gun and put me in jail. Okay, we get that. And then I killed that girl with that gun.
Right.
You know that whole fucking situation, you do what the fuck you want. I don't care. I'm in the wrong, all right? I'm the asshole here, all right?
Bad guy?
What am I, the fucking quote? I'm a bad person is the next thing. That is fucking amazing. I'm a bad person. So he goes on to a ramble and talk more about his brothers and more about his brothers and more about his fucking brothers. Oh, my God. He says, but anyway, I'm going to take it out and the gun and use it, and then I'm going to kill myself with it. I just wanted to let you know, I was going to tell you how short it was, but I'm not now. Cause here it's short, very, very short. Well, I don't think if I've been from the police. I'm looking at my dead date, Carrie and Caroline's car out here. She's just got that. She kept saying, that car will help me get that car. I remember so she couldn't find me. He co-signed for her car, I think. Answer your phone, sweetie. Answer your phone, sweetie. Answer your phone, sweetie. Anything from her? I've been sitting here since 2001. I had depression real bad and all this. And she kept playing head games with me. So I have to admit maybe she knew what was coming. But, guys, you don't fuck around with a man like that. And she fucked around with me or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I better let this finish. So I think I'm going to send this all off in the mail now. Bye. I'll send it off in the mail soon. Bye. Okay. Now, end of recording. Finally.
That's the end of it. He finally got to it. I co-signed on a car with her an hour and a half after I started this.
And I killed just a plain old, just a prostitute from town. He was never even a suspect in their cases.
Is that right?
Never even a suspect, never even talked to him, never of anything. If he had never sent this, they would have just been big mysteries. He would have got away with it forever. Now that after all this, the police reveal, in his house they also found a hit list amongst his shit.
Of course.
With the names of 3 women under a bed. This was under a bed in the burned out remains of his home. He found a list, and there was several people on that list. And they said they have tried to talk to the women on the list, but they haven't returned phone messages. However, they're all alive. So that's good. Police would not say why they were targeted, but they said that, who knows with this fucking guy. They said he had specific connections to specific lifestyles, and I'll have to leave it at that. That's what the police officer said. What does that mean?
We don't want to besmirch him. He's got to
Holy shit.
He's got to have some gay shit going on, right?
The only way they used the word lifestyles back then is in a gay way, right? That's it. That's like code. So they said that Childers also had on his list that he contemplated killing 3 local police officers as well.
Is Menendez one of them?
He bragged that he'd been carrying a gun around and could have shot Clarksburg police officers and a Harrison County Sheriff's Department. He said that Matheny was not one of the officers, the guy he sent it to. They also said that they say he just seems to think he's smarter than the police. So that's why he wanted to do it, basically, because they're dumb. They said the FBI described Childers as egotistical and said he believed no one could judge him because no one could understand him. They said in the course of the letter, he never sounded apologetic or guilty, rather fantasized about killing people and blamed his urges on everything from upbringing to drugs.
Right.
He said nothing was his fault. So they're looking for him. Now they have a manhunt for him.
Oh, boy. Watch out for
June
posts.
2nd, 2009. Shortly after all this, they issue a police warrant. He is last seen at the Townhouse Motel in Clarksburg. Okay. So they, during all this, by the way, during the manhunt, he actually went back to his house to cut some tree branches that a neighbor had complained about.
Gotta do it.
Well,
gotta be a good neighbor.
Got to be a good neighbor before the cops close in on me, okay? So then he's spotted at the motel, like we said, and the police surround the building. They surround the hotel, and when they surround the hotel, they attempt to make contact with him and hear a gunshot.
Oh, no.
Blew his own head off.
Stop it.
Yep, took him out just like he said he was going to. Yep.
Bastard.
Once they found him, done. They said after confirming his death, they combed through his farm, where, according to him, there's at least 3 other women buried on the farm, but no other remains were found. Only the 2 women. Only the 2 women. One of his friends said he was odd at times, but never anything that would indicate this type of behavior. They're still looking for bodies, though, because it's hard to find on here. So they said that they'll reopen the case on the urging of the FBI.
Yeah, you gotta find these people.
Yeah, the behavioral unit actually came out and said he didn't just kill 2 women and his friend.
He did this, and he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, there's more. He's 45. There's more. They said he's a serial killer, and I'd keep looking around.
Yeah.
So they decide they will. They're going to keep looking. Matheny, who is the guy he sent everything to, said the FBI's report, which he read, recommends West Virginia State Police re-examine the 96-acre property, and they'll also work with the state medical examiner on a 5-year-old case of the Ralph Hill guy that we told you about. They said that is they have to exhume him, and they consider Childers the prime suspect in his murder. Of
course.
They said a second cold case will also be reviewed, but they wouldn't give any details about that. Matheny, though, said without more bodies, fresh tips or witnesses, or some other new evidence, a lot of questions aren't going to be found. He said when he took his own life, he took a lot of good information with him. If the next, they said if the next search of the property is fruitless, then they said they might end up not having anywhere to go.
Oh, no.
Detective Mike Walsh said there will come a point when we've done all we can do. So the state police said, quote, let's face it, someone who would commit a crime such as this either has mental problems or they're deranged, which are the same thing.
What are you doing, man? Why are you splitting
They're
hairs?
either crazy or out of their mind. It's fucking nuts. One of the two. He said it's very possible it could be a silly, sick game on his part to keep our resources and manpower tied up with this search because there's nothing to corroborate his statements. With the other 2, he was very specific about where we could find them, and we found them. Most likely he would be detailed with the others if they occurred.
He does besmirch the police. He doesn't trust them. He doesn't like them. He thinks he's smarter than them, so that's a good point.
Everyone but Matheny, because he was nice to him when they got in a car accident.
Right.
So, meanwhile, none of the other cops ever hit him with the car.
Right.
So, they said city, county, state, and federal authorities are all tracking down leads, fielding dozens of phone calls and calling for help in examination of forensic evidence and digging up historical records on Childers. They said there's literally thousands of things that need to be done, Matheny said. They're also re-examining unsolved missing person cases from around the state and taking a closer look at the house that he admitted to setting on fire.
Right.
Matheny said that Childers recently sold the small white house, and they said arson detectives have been in the house and sifted through it, but after all this, they're going to go through it again, obviously. So they search and search and search. We're talking everybody, all hands on deck search, and they still can't find anything else.
Oh, my God.
They still can't find anything else. They said the investigation has slowed down considerably as they review old cases and look for new tips and try to figure it out, basically. They said, when you're in law enforcement, you can walk into our office and have a clear desk, but many cases like this are always going to be sitting in front of you. This is the county prosecutor. He says, cases like this, you read about them every day, or you think about them every day. There's not a week that goes by that we haven't talked about this case, and at a certain point, you want to quit waiting on somebody to come forward, so you throw a line out there to see what you can catch. But after 15 months after the suicide, they still have nothing else. Wow. They still have nothing. They don't know if those extra women he said he killed are fact or fiction. They've repeatedly searched. They said that just haven't found anything. They said his claims to have buried them deep and several hundred yards apart, but the land is remote and wooded, and it's hard to find. Though other cops said they could very well be out there. He said about him, quote, he could have gone out there and dug for days and days and days. He could have built a house out there and nobody would have seen it.
Nobody would have known anything. Yeah.
Yeah, he said so. They think it would be worth going back and using all available resources to dig up the acreage. Just dig up 96 acres.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit. They said until then, further excavation is on hold. They said that regardless of him claiming in the transcript, his brothers helped him and don't let them tell you they didn't and all that. Police say those people were thoroughly investigated and we don't consider them to be suspects and we won't consider it to be the truth. That's what Matheny said. They also said having an accomplice is also inconsistent with the behavior that the FBI has, overlaid him with.
This guy's behavior is that he does it alone, right?
Yeah, he wouldn't have somebody else. Now, in 2017, a documentary titled Mountain of the Missing centered around events in Clarksville here in an attempt to find evidence about Childer's involvement in disappearances and murders of more people in Clarksburg and Harrison County. So during the filming, they interviewed friends and all that kind of everybody, cops and all that kind of shit. They tried to gain access to the Childer family farm in order to locate the burial sites they wanted to do it themselves. Right, Fuck, we'll dig it up. And they wanted to use metal detectors and shit like that. But the Childers would not give them permission.
The family told them no, huh?
Yep, and then the Clarksburg Police Department also refused to issue a search warrant. Well, because then they'd have to do it if they had a search warrant. They don't get a search warrant for you. Oh, here you go, dickhead with 3 digital cameras and a boom mic. You guys do it. You have the expertise.
It's not a day pass for a national park, you fucking moron.
Jesus Christ. So Kenneth Whisman, okay, although never proven, police allege that Childers was the culprit in the murder of Kenneth Whisman, who was an alleged prostitute of Clarksburg. See what I mean?
Oh.
Kenneth, who's a prostitute.
Right.
Yeah. So he does things and then morally judges himself and then lashes out on others for it. That's what he does. So they said a rape kit was performed on Kenneth Whisberg, but the rape kit was lost by the police.
Fantastic work, fellas.
Yep, and they can't link anything. They said maybe it would have made a difference because the DNA swab was never taken from Childers either. They don't have a good DNA on him either.
Oh, no.
And he was cremated after his death, so they never got it after that.
Oh, my God.
Rather than grabbing a swab quick, they were just like, yeah, sure, send him through, and that's what happened.
The guy's got a hole in his head. Throw a couple of cotton balls in there.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And hang on to him for a while.
That's it. Just put him in a little tube.
We'll deal with it later.
Whisman's death was ultimately ruled as a medical death, even though police still have speculations of foul play. Another woman they keep looking at, which I don't think he did, but is possible, is a woman named Sue Faye Roop, R-O-O-P. This is a big one in the whole web sleuth community here. They love this one. She disappeared in the 70s here. I believe 79 is when she disappeared, which is when he was 15 and she was 30.
Oh.
So that's what people keep latching on to. She had 3 kids, a 9, a 7, and a 2-year-old.
Okay.
And she had just gone through a bad divorce. And after finding out her husband was having an affair with the babysitter.
Yeah.
So it was tough. Yeah, that old trope here. So from websleuths.com, somebody wrote, is it possible that James Childers murdered Sue Roop And if it is, in fact, Sue Roop's remains found at the Gauley Bridge, DNA matches Sue Roop. It doesn't mean police say someone helped carry the body there. She may have been tricked to walk there by her killer and killed there or nearby there. This is also why I asked how Sue Roop's home burnt down. James Childers was also a confessed arsonist, obviously. Was also a confessed arsonist. Where am I here? Cobb claimed Sue Roop had a new lover. No one ever said who that new lover was, and it was not clear if they were talking about Sue Roop or Raymond Roop in that news story. That is another hint that would be helpful. So they're saying that this could have been it. Childers' confession offers some good clues, and it may or may not have something to do with Roop. Notice that Childers claims to have been with a 30-year-old woman at age 15, had been mobile as long as he could remember. It was not uncommon in West Virginia and many states for teens to drive without a driver's license, even if caught by the police back in the 70s. So they're really trying to do that. Now, they found a body on Bolt Mountain in December 93, which they originally thought was Sue Roop, and they found it, and I don't believe it was. The more they learned, the more they became convinced that the remains were those of Sue, but the body had been abandoned in a forest area and not buried deep enough to protect from exposure or discovery. Roop had disappeared in a cold winter and would have been difficult to dig a burial hole, so they were talking about that. They said that they thought it was her, very much so. The body matched a lot of different things, but the results were inconclusive. They went through and they couldn't find whether it was her or not. Basically, they had a mismatch, thinking it was somebody else. Now,
and he did say that woman fucked him up pretty bad. So
yeah, they said though nothing in the DNA test eliminates her as a possibility, there's also not enough evidence to prove that it was her skeleton. In '96, the skeletal remains were sent to one of the leading DNA specialists in the nation at Penn State University for mitochondrial DNA testing. And they said that the body on Bolt Mountain matched DNA of Sue Roop's family in 25 of 26 points. They said the mismatch on the 1 point could be attributed to contamination or other factors. They said, making the following recommendation: if there is sufficient compelling other evidence to support the claim that the remains are those of Sue Roop, then this should be repeated in an independent sample. So they said that they're trying to find out. They were trying to link him to this, but it doesn't look like he did this, essentially. In 2016, though, human remains were found in Fayette County, originally believed to be that of Sue Roop, because they never found that it was her, who went missing in February '79. But they were confirmed to be ancient remains of 3 different individuals that are at least 200 years old.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 3 different people buried up there, old, way fucking old. People were searching for artifacts around here and came across human remains, and the remains were sent to the medical examiner's office and the FBI, and they said that they received notice that the remains did not belong to Roop and that they were considered ancient, containing bones from 3 different individuals.
Holy.
And they may be more than 200 years old. So, old bones. On a hillside.
How do you accidentally find 200-year-old bodies?
Right. Well, stumbled across 3 of them.
3, yeah.
So that is a weird story, and James Childers and the story. So he definitely killed 2 women.
Right.
That's a fact.
Been so many more.
And 99% sure he killed Cecil Ralph Hill.
Yeah.
And he might have had plenty more. He seems like the type to me that probably didn't kill 3 prostitutes and bury them on that property, but he probably killed more than that and not around there. That's his way of keeping them away from where they might be, is to keep them searching on his property. Because think about that.
Yeah. That way he's smarter than them.
Yeah, I didn't tell you where they were. Oh, they're on my property. Just keep searching.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 96 acres and they're deep, so keep going. Meanwhile, they're God knows where.
Dig deep. They're probably shallow in another county.
Who knows? Just to fuck with them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So.
Just you know what? Maybe having that fat fuck dig so much, he'll drop some LBs.
Yeah, maybe do that. Maybe get Menendez out there with a shovel. But that, like I said, that's a weird kind of a different case. Kind of that whole narrative, and we go off of that. It's a weird different case, and just thought we'd do something a little different this week.
I want that tape so bad.
I would love to hear this guy's hillbilly voice for 2 hours. That would be amazing. That would be a lot of the.
I think it's annoying that he said everything he said on the A side, then went to the B side to say so much more of it all over again. It's so annoying.
Is he did he forget where he was? He said he was taking Xanax, though.
Yeah.
So if you take Xanax, you forget and you repeat shit. Yeah, you get in that loop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen that before, that fucking pill loop, and that's what I think he's in. He's just like, let me turn this back on again. And another thing, my fucking brothers are dicks, man, for real.
And
that is Clarksburg.
Saying it over and over again is a typical substance abuse person, too. So
Yeah, because you forget you said it, and you repeat it, and then you forget you said it, and you repeat it, and you forget you said it, and repeat it. And
then you stand on the edge of somebody's car telling them over and over and over again.
By the way, then you forget you said it and you repeat it.
So that happens.
I wish after some of these clicks he would have went, I'm back. All right. Just had to go get some pizza.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back now, though, boys.
Jimmy. What is that? James, yeah.
James. Yeah, here's James. Here's Jimmie. Here's Jim, whatever he likes to go by. I think he goes by Jim most of all.
Probably.
So there he is. There this is. There's a wild case. 2 women died horrible deaths that were really unnecessary. Especially one, I feel like, and I've watched countless documentaries, like the Hookers at the Point documentaries on HBO. Yeah. And those women know there's danger. Yep. You know what I mean? And they're prepared for it, and their ears are up. Yeah. Their ears are up. Sure. They know that it's out there. But like the other woman didn't know anything was amiss. She thought everything was fine. And next thing you know, this guy's killing her. And then he's telling everyone that she wanted him to do that, which is also crazy. Begging, please take me to the farm and shoot me in the fucking head. So good thing he's dead either way. So
it's a bummer that he got out the way he did, though. I really don't like
it. Sucks.
I don't like that at all.
Nope. If you like that story, though, where you can go is wherever app you're listening on, please give us 5 stars. It helps a lot, helps drive us up the charts. Also, want to follow us on social media. We're at Small Town Murder on Instagram. We're at Murder Small, Twitter at Small Town Pod on Facebook. Right. So follow us all there. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Merchandise is there. Tons of new merch, as well as tickets for the whole rest of the year. Live shows. August the 12th is the next one that has a bunch of tickets left.
Down there by September.
Chicago. It's down there by September. Get your asses in there and get your tickets to Chicago right now. Come see us. A lot of the shows are sold out, and that is one that isn't. So come on down, Chicago, and see us down by September. Now, shutupandgivememurder.com. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all the bonus stuff. Anybody $5 or above, you get a huge back catalog of bonus stuff. 2 new episodes every other week. 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder, and you get access to it all. This week for crime and sports, we're going to talk about Disco Demolition Night, which was bring all your disco records and 8 tracks to the ballpark, and in between games of a doubleheader, we're going to blow them up on the field. Yeah. Which, of course, led to a forfeited game, riots, and fires. Fantastic. So that was a lot of fun. A lot of good stuff there. And then for Small Town Murders, we're going to talk about Sherry Papini. Yes. The California woman who faked her own kidnapping for who knows? That's the weird part. Hard to figure out. I have a theory. Yeah. I have a theory, and I think it's the right theory because, I mean, why else would I have thought of it if I didn't think it was right? But I think it's right. Let's all talk about it because that's going to be a discussion there. Sherry Papini, that is patreon.com/crime and sports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show. Before that, though, definitely keep an eye out. Your Stupid Opinions is coming in the next couple weeks. Boy. Holy shit, it's going to be Monday mornings, and we'll let you know when it comes. But never mind all that shit. I want to hear the names of the greatest people in the world, Jimmy. Yeah. Who are these people? These are our patrons and our wonderful people who donate to us that this show could not go on without. So, Jimmy, without further ado, hit me with that list.
This week's executive producers are Jordan and Simon. Jordan Bennett and Simon Shed in Canada. Thank you both for coming down to hang out in Detroit. Simon. So good to see you.
Definitely, always.
And she wants us to make sure that we mention Bree, Della, Cassie, Caitlin, Robin, Amber, Cody, and Delaney, who all came to the Detroit shows.
Yes. And we know all of them. Thank you, everybody.
So good to see you guys.
Good
Thank
to see Jason
for
Fuller
being
enjoy the Chet Lemon jersey.
Yeah, he was jacked about it. He wanted me to tell you thank you.
They say he's the largest Tiger fan I know. And they sent me a jersey. They sent me a jersey, and it's way they gave me the wrong size, so it's perfect for him.
So he's got it, and he fits it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And other executive producers: Christine G, Julie Go Forth, David Roden, and Christy. I think that's his girlfriend. Maybe, I'm not sure. And Dominic Wecken's fiance, Erica. Happy birthday.
Happy
Erica,
birthday,
not Dominic.
crazy
it's
fuckers.
Erica's birthday. Happy birthday. All right. Other producers this week are James in Florida, Evan and dear Willona, Ivan Putski, and
James
his
in Florida
Polish...
from Good Times. Some parents from Good Times.
And, I'm just trying to rattle them off.
Oh, sorry. I hear James in Florida Evans, and I'm like, what happened?
Gary-
James died. I'm still sad about it. Fuck.
Gary Friedman. Is it Friedman? Yeah, it's Friedman. Loves to give me all these names of people that I don't know who any of these fucking people are when I read them, so I just have to say them fast. And Ivan Putski, the Polish Hammer, and his Polish Hammer. Rabbi Shmolovich's pet turtle, Chevy Chase. Evidently, this guy that he made up has a turtle named Chevy Chase.
That's terrific.
Other producers still Liz Vasquez. Liz Vasquez, Don Solis, Janice Hill, Justine, Big Slutbag Jeffries. Happy birthday. Buster.
Happy birthday, big slut.
And Buster Tonsils, which is the most disgusting name that I've heard yet.
Buster Rhymes is,
his brother.
rejected rapper name. Hold on, let's be more sensible about this.
Rob Wiedemeyer, Kelly Hornbeck, Kylie Schinkel, Wayne Carlson, Michael with no last name.
Busta Ovary, I believe, was another one he rejected. He's like,
he
can't
also
have that.
rejected his real name of Trevor, which is probably the best move so far. Michael with no last name, Myra Zimmerman, Angela Galley, Eight Gables Forge, and Sarah Coat. Oh, he does gun stuff. Broke Down Pony, Joshua Swan, Jeff Swindle probably, Skylar Lowe, Brad Gillis, Ryder with no last name, Gene with no last name, T. Walker, Harry Parker, Kathleen Anderson, Jamie Cutton, Craziness Today, Cole Larston, Cole, not with a D, it's just Cole, Larson, Joshua Martin, Caitlin Tarosky, Hillary Shawcat, Jay McKay. Of course it's Ja. Campisi Orc Pussy? What in the fuck is... All right, I'm moving on. Brianna Boyle, Cassandra Howard, Taylor Bean Rose, Krista Downs, Cheryl Garcia, 8 Hertz Music, Mama Daney, Chris with no last name, Nicholas Gordon, Kylie Brown, Corin Nickerson, Miranda Watson, Katie Jones, Lisa Noble, hey Lisa, Lola Galapudi, whoa boy, Nicole Johnson, Shannon Sprout, Kyle Maynard, Jennifer Ellis, Kate Zanowski, Christopher Shelton, Amanda Higginbottom, maybe Higginbotham, both them. Botham? Bottom. It's probably bottom. Robert Whiteley, sure. Stephanie Berry, Melissa Prysack, Christy Standeffer, Karen Kennerson, Shad with no last name, Luann Alien Gina. Don't know.
Alien vagina?
Alien vagina. Goldie Walker, Lance Allen, Kathleen Carey, Mia Finley, Brandy Classetti.
Nice. Hey, Brandy.
Say it slow and you get it better. Courtney
Come
Cooper.
on, Brandy.
Courtney with no last name. Chelsea Oden. Holly Winter, Thomas Gallipoli. Gallipoli. Thomas. Hey, Tommy.
Oh,
Marquez. Marquez with no last name, Sonora Vanderberg Jones, Jake Selman, Jay Ivetic, Gwendolyn Ward, Amanda Bonilla, Carlos Villanueva, Suel Murray, Hillary Hansen, Keith Fleming, Tiffany Lowry, Mindy Jackson, Corey Peak, Colleen White, Rachel Murphy, Billy Murphy, Shelby Thompson, Stephanie Draper, Matt Miranda, Stephanie.
Sean Connery wants to speak with you. Stephanie.
Susie Q, Devin Swinney, Cameron Weber, Jennifer Oberchak. Molly with no last name, Lisa Gronewald. Oh, boy. Heather Neely, Taj King, Brandon Haynes, Tired Placebo. What the fuck? Denise Martin, Shala Flame, Chris DePay, Stephanie Anderson, Megan with no last name, Javaris Hill, Stupid Ass. Happy about that one? You proud of yourself? It's pretty easy. Mary Dickey, Courtney Newman, Chris Wright, Sheila with no last name, Tom with no last name, Tom Sandell possibly, Jay Lee Stoddard, Gail Wing, Joshua Scott Heron, Lisa Nasson, Alexandria Lusk, Douglas Post, Maya Marin, Donnie Kennedy, Samantha Bowman, Katie Martin, Katie Umstead, Margaret Bingaman, Robin H., Lori with no last name, Austin Owens, Jessica with no last name, Shauna Houseman, Davaras Big D in Your Mouth Woods, Amy Keeley, Sienna Canterbury, Sienna. Jeff Kassler, Vixen with no last name, Mark Big Willow Spear, Heather Mullaney, Justice McLaughlin, Kyle with no last name, Kendra Murphy, Stacia Vonk, Preacher Luis, Haley Schaefer, Betsy Brown Harder, Cheryl Young, Luke Lockton, Sam Monmouth Music. Why is that so hard to say? Katie Petriella, Tyro Skeet 42, Andrew Zavarera, Zizu the Dog, Hans Gregory Harmon Jr., Brittany Page, OK Limmer, Tits Palmer, Samantha Silverthorne, Emerson Biggins,
Tits Palmer,
you know her, Amber Tetchener, you, and all of our patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, so much. From the bottom of our hearts, we cannot thank you enough for all that you do for us. Absolutely. If you want to follow us on social media, like people, you can do that very easily. All the links are there at shutupandgivememurder.com. Get in there and come see us and hang out and come to a live show and do all sorts of fun shit. We'll keep coming back. Yeah. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country, who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.